If I walked into somebody's house and saw that,
I was originally like, there's no way you can flush the toilet if there's flowers in there.
that is so wild.
No, it was the wildest thing I've ever seen. It was wild.
And I grew up with grandmothers that had the cushion seats and the
Remember the potpourri?
They had
Oh,
the potpourri.
gosh.
Don't eat the potpourri.
Yeah,
Don't eat it. Yeah.
But
Now
I've
they make those in, they call them sachet packets.
Yeah.
They take the potpourri and they like blend it up so it's like a powder, and then it's just in a packet.
And then what?
Shake
You
it.
just shake it.
You just shake it and you leave it in there.
Dust everywhere.
No, it stays in there.
My kids got some Mother's Day thing from church that was like some kind of sachet full of something, and it got all over the dash of our car.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a white powdery substance.
From church?
Yeah.
Oh. I want to know what that was.
How about this? How about you start getting in a routine of like talking to camera and saying, hey, welcome to Christians Talking About Shit podcast, blah, 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 right? And I feel like that takes off the weight of like,
No.
Okay.
He said, I hate that.
I don't know. I hate it. I just dislike it. No, I don't know.
And go.
What's up, Maelee?
That's so funny. Not much.
Not much.
Not much. Just hanging out, having a coffee.
How you been since we last saw you?
Actually, I knew you were going to ask me that in the car. So I was trying to think of how I've been. I've been really good.
Like opening generic question, how you been?
Yeah, I was like, he's probably going to ask me that. And I was like, if he doesn't, I'm going to ask him that. I've been good, but I think I feel like I've lived like 8 lives since, what was it, April?
Wow.
But it's just been such a busy
Like reincarnated
season.
or like, what, how do you mean 8 lives?
It feels like I've kind of like, and come back like 8 times,
you
you know?
like
I've
a
been
cat.
sick, but also been like trying to do work, but also
Is your spirit animal a cat?
I hate cats.
Oh.
I'm actually terrified of cats.
Really?
Yes. Like deathly afraid of cats.
Like afraid or allergic or?
No, I'm not allergic.
Just afraid of them.
I will say I saw an article the other day that cats could be at the peak of evolutionary perfect petness.
Perfect petness?
Mm-hmm.
How's that?
Well, just looking at all the wide range of different animals that you could have as a pet, and they say that a cat just fits most of those.
Huh.
The best. I don't know.
You'll never catch me with the
I don't
cat.
know. Dog's man's best friend.
Yeah, I can do a dog all day long.
Maybe it's the alt-right, alt-left debate.
I was in a dog's mouth when I was 2. That was an interesting. I don't remember the experience, but
You were what?
I was
Explain.
in the dog's mouth. I don't know. I don't know what happened. I just
How-
know
how
that the
were
dog
we?
bit me on the side and like I guess tried to run off with me or something. I don't quite know.
Wow.
Yeah, German Shepherd, I believe.
Oh,
Yeah.
gosh.
But it didn't generate any fear. Like I don't. It was
That's
never
good.
a problem.
Praise God for that.
My wife, on the other hand, was scared of wolves because of the never-ending story. So dogs, because of the never-ending story, the servant of the nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Cats.
Cats.
Have you seen the musical?
The movie. Saw
No.
the 2019 movie.
Oh, did you? I didn't see that.
I actually enjoyed it.
Oh.
Like, I hate to say it, but it was actually like, this is interesting. Well, it was fascinating. I will say that. It was fascinating. Like how this got made, what they went through, why anyone would do this. You know, from that perspective.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
You know,
Cats,
the
the
play
movie?
Cats?
Nope.
It's a Broadway play.
Nope.
Maelee.
Who wrote it?
Maelee.
I know.
Who wrote
I know.
it? The
Uncultured. What is this?
well-known play.
This is Cats.
This is Cats, yeah. This is a Broadway play.
Really?
Super, super popular in the around 2000. 1998.
You know what? I'm going to have to
Okay.
talk to your parents.
So
You need to talk to my parents.
Because
This is their failure.
I,
This
I,
is not my fault.
I,
I
feel
don't.
like,
I wouldn't call this a failure not knowing about Cats. They
Interesting.
got their own religion and everything.
Really?
Yeah, Jellicle Cats.
I didn't-
Oh,
I didn't know
okay.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have to check this out.
Clips and stuff from the movie.
You know,
though.
I feel like I have seen this like this looks familiar. It feels
Probably
like it's
blocked it.
unlocking something in my
Probably
brain.
blocked it out.
Yeah.
So that's the movie there.
Taylor Swift.
Yeah, Tay-Tay's in it.
No. Yeah, in 2019, I definitely wasn't watching anything with the word cat in
It's
it.
got Judi Dench and Ian McKellen and
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's something.
Corden. Is that Corden in there?
It's something.
It's definitely something.
I'll report back. I'll check it out and report back. But that cats thing all the way to the right side of the screen,
Yeah, the poster.
that looks familiar to me. That feels like yeah, that is like unlocking something in the brain here.
So cats are evolutionarily the perfect pet.
Hey, that's what they say.
I don't know if I trust they on that one.
I think whoever came up with this play idea had some sort of weird.
Well, what's his name?
Weird thing.
I forget his name, but he's a pretty darn popular playwright. Although it's based on a book, I think. Yeah, Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Oh.
But I believe it's based on a book, but it's nothing like the book. It's been a while since I did my unfortunate research on this. Do you think this is what the listeners want to hear? Do the listeners want to hear this?
I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe.
Probably not. There's got to be something
Mark,
better
is
than cats.
is this what you want to hear, Mark?
Yeah, Mark Boblett's our number one fan.
I love him. Oh, I love the Boblets. Yeah.
I think we're gonna see if we can talk him into coming on permanently and just sitting in the corner.
Just being here?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The
And he
referee.
can just add like little comments every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
Throw cards out on the table when he's
Or like a flag. Like,
yeah,
no,
like
that's too far.
yellow card, red card.
Yeah. Or like, no, we got to keep talking about that.
Yeah.
I think that's a great idea.
Hmm.
Mark, we know you're watching. This chair's for you.
Right there. What's going on with you, Ben?
So I've been binge watching the Disney Channel Andor, Star Wars Andor,
Oh, I have heard about this.
and the second season came out. I don't know, maybe a month ago, 2 months ago. Yeah, that's what I've been up to.
Yeah.
It's been really good.
What's your take on it?
You know what? As a fan, just being in the world, in the story building that it has in its own world, I think it's pretty good. It definitely has some stronger female lead seeping through, where it's kind of like, did we really have to go that far with? I don't know how to explain it. I just feel like Disney has a little bit of an agenda with regards to how they're writing Star Wars. And it bleeds through.
What do you think of that agenda? Do you think there's an agenda?
I think there's so many agendas in all young child TV, YouTube. Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, as someone who deals with the youth, like, what are your takes on the state of current culture?
There's this book I've been reading that is kind of, I have already been feeling these things. And then actually Holly Hins told me about this book because it just came up in a conversation with her one day. So I started reading this book and I was like, I don't remember who wrote the book, but they like hit it spot on. But pretty much they're talking about like how everything in culture today supports kids like kind of being their own parent and like allowing their friends to be their own parents. So like they stop listening to their own, like their actual parents. And they're being parented by culture and people their own age. Which is like, and then you can look at TV shows and you see like there's no parents anywhere. And if there are parents, the kids are like going behind their back or like disrespecting their parents and all the things.
You kind of like in Peanuts where there were no adults.
Yes, there's no adults. And if there are adults, you don't even like see their faces or wah. They're like portrayed to be dumb. And then these kids have to figure it out on their own. And it's like, oh, this is the problem with kids these days. Oh yeah, I think there's a lot of agendas.
Like the dumb dad trope's been around for a while.
Yeah, and it's like dads are important, very important, and they're not dumb. One of the most important voices, especially in a young boy's life.
Yeah, and then boys who grow up without male authority figures.
For sure. Well, same thing with the girl, but especially with the boy. Joyce has this saying, and I think it's funny, but it's so accurate. She says, bulls make bulls. And I'm like, that's true. Like, in referring to like strong men in a young man's life makes a strong man.
Mm.
And it's like, yeah, that's so true.
As opposed to steers.
As opposed to steers.
Yeah. Mm. It does kind of feel like we have a bunch of neutered men running around in society these days.
Yep.
Hmm.
That's why we sit here single. And when I say we, I mean me.
Mm. Yeah,
That was a
married.
joke.
I got married young. You got married young too, Ben.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Mm.
Wait, how young did y'all get married?
I was 22.
That's not that young, I
was
feel like.
20.
That's young. I knew y'all were young.
Only 2 years different.
Okay, but that doesn't feel... I know it's only 2 years. It just feels like a big difference. 22 and 20. 20 feels like, oh, you're barely out of being a teenager. But I guess 22 is still...
I mean, now it's like you shouldn't get married until you're 30 and you experience the world and other partners and figure out what you want to be in life
what
and
everyone
all that
says.
stuff. Yeah. I see more and more though that people are like recognizing that that's a lie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like especially like with some of my friends, I feel like there was a shift between, because I have some older friends who are later 20s or mid 30s, whatever, who kind of were like, oh, I wish I would have waited. Not that they were regretting the fact that they got married, but like, wish I would have waited to figure some things out, whatever. And then my friends now that are kind of like mid 20s, and then I don't really have any friends younger than mid 20s, who are getting married now are like getting married quicker. Because it's like, no, this is a choice. I get to make a choice to spend my life with this person, even though I don't have it figured out, and that's what it's supposed to look like. And I'm like, yes, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Anyways.
Yeah, my philosophy was always like, it's better to get married young and grow up together rather than become rigid and set in your ways. And then I've known a lot of people who have, been married for a long time, got divorced, and then met someone and got married really fast.
I feel like that's how it always happens.
Yes, but I'm like, the older you are, the longer I think you should wait.
Really?
Yes, because you rush in and then you're already rigid and set in your ways, and then you start finding out that this person is also rigid and set in their ways, and you start butting heads. Whereas if you get married, I mean, I'm not saying go get married in 3 weeks when you're a teenager, but I mean, like my wife and I, we knew each other for a long time, but we courted, dated, whatever you want to call it. I mean, we never actually went on a date, but for like 3 months, and then we were engaged for 3 months and we got married. We knew each other for like 7.5 years prior to that. So our families knew each other. We were like known factors in many ways. But like from there on, like, we grew up together. Like she says she raised me, but
I believe that.
Yeah.
I love Katie.
Yeah.
She's great.
She's like, yeah, like, I don't want to raise another one, so you better stick around.
I love her. I'm going to go have a coffee with her. Actually, I need to have another cigar with her.
Yeah.
I actually told her I was going to buy a pipe because she inspired me with her pipe. I was like, I want a pipe.
Yeah.
And I haven't bought one yet. But I need to do that and then go have an evening with her.
There's a shop right down the road.
Yeah.
I know. I'm going to have to go over there after.
A lot of ladies around who enjoy tobacco.
Isn't that kind of weird?
Yeah. What's with that?
I have no idea. I didn't. I've never been one to enjoy tobacco, really. But then Lauren Eggers and Ivy love a good cigar. And I'm like, you know what? Yeah. So I would go over there and hang out with her and Terrell and Ivy. And I was like, yeah, I'll take a cigar. Had one day and I was like, this is incredible. And now I'm like, I love having a cigar every now and then. I don't have them a lot, but every now and then.
What was incredible about it?
I don't know, just the experience.
Like,
I loved the taste.
The nicotine rush? Did you get a rush?
No, if I go on, like, do the whole cigar, I'll get a little nicotine rush. But I usually don't do the whole cigar, mainly because it makes me sick. But I love, like, I think it's just the experience of it. The taste, you can, like, taste all the different elements in it. I love doing that. And then I like to try to figure out what I'm tasting. Like, if it's a peppery, earthy, or is it like a sweet, vanilla, coffee, whatever. I like trying to figure that out. But I do that with my food, too.
Okay.
So I'm like, yeah.
So you're a foodie, like you're breaking down the tastings. And...
Yeah, I love to cook. And I love to like play with different flavors and stuff. So like when I'm eating something that someone else has cooked, or if I go to a restaurant or something, I'm like, oh, I taste, like I'm like savoring and trying to figure out what it is I'm tasting. Super weird. if you have dinner with me, I'm like I'll like process it out loud. So I'm like, oh, like I think that like I had these tacos the other day at this. Is it Taqueria 21? There's one right off 21 headed out towards Douglas, but it's not. It's on the inside of the loop.
I never drive that direction.
Okay. Well, I've been hearing about
the loop.
It's inside the loop,
Okay.
yeah. Before the Skaterama and everything. But I've heard about this place and their breakfast tacos for years, and I've always wanted to go. And it's funny because my parents' house is literally 5-7 minutes away from this taqueria. So I grew up right down the road from this place. Never tried it. The other day, I'm trying these tacos and I'm eating them and I'm like, okay, first off, the pork and the chicken tacos were probably the best. That was the best chicken taco I've ever had. Period. But anyways, I'm eating it and I taste like this mapley flavor and I'm out loud talking about it and I'm like, there's like a sweetness, and then I'm like, it's almost mapley. And so then I'm like taking apart the taco and I'm like, is it the meat? Is it the tortilla? And I found out it's the tortilla. But anyways, yeah.
Do they put like a little maple syrup?
I don't know if it's like the way that they're like smoking the tortilla with like a mapley wood, or because it's literally just like an essence. It's not like you taste the sweetness. It's like the aroma of maple. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So, anyways.
Aromatic.
Yeah. Yeah. It was delicious. Some of the best tacos. If you've never had it, you gotta go try it.
One place that's really good in Garrison. If you're ever in Garrison.
I was just in Garrison last night for a softball game.
There's this little shack that used to be a burger joint. It's kind of over by the auction house. And there's this little old lady in there who just makes Mexican food all day long.
Really?
It's like really good food.
Ooh.
Like shockingly good.
It used to be a burger joint.
It used to be a burger joint.
I think I know what you're talking about. Those burgers were good.
Burgers were good too. But apparently not good enough to stay open.
Well, I think that the guy that did the burgers moved into the gas station. So there's a gas station that is right off Appleby Sand as you're going to Garrison. I think he does the burgers in there now. I think. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if he still does, but I know he moved out of that little.
Anyway, I don't know the name of the place, but check it out.
I will have to.
Very good.
I'll report back.
So yeah, you cook?
Yeah, when I get chances to. I haven't cooked I haven't had a night to experimentally cook in a couple weeks. Actually, it's probably been a month. But yeah.
I thought you were going to say like a year, but
no. I tried to at least. That's like it's like one of the things that I do to just kind of like get out of my head. Like forget about work or forget about all the things I need to do or what's going on here. All the, like one of the escapes is cooking for me.
What's your favorite cuisine?
Oh man, I don't know. Yeah, I genuinely don't know. I like so many different foods, but then dislike a lot of things. So
can you pick three?
Pick three that I like.
Pick three that you
like a dish.
Like I would more like regions.
Genres.
Regions. Okay. I love Mexican food. I love Indian food. And I like Thai food. I mean, I can keep going. I love Italian food.
Thai, Greek, and Indian.
Yeah. Oh, Greek. Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Just gorge on Greek food.
Yeah. So good.
What about you, Ben?
It would have to be an assortment of Asian on top. Right. It's got to be a fusion spot. Mexican's probably number 3. Man, it's hard for me to go a month without eating a pizza. So I'll go ahead and throw Italian up there.
I don't. Pizza doesn't quite count as Italian.
Yeah. Or lasagna.
Unless you're getting like a margarita pizza or like a very like traditional.
It's a pizza.
I think it was invented in New York.
Pizza?
Yeah, I think so. That's the rumor anyway.
Bro.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
The internet's not going to be truthful.
So like whatever you see, we're not going to believe it. believe it was New York.
Naples, Italy.
Pizza.
Now, I will add a caveat that you are probably partially correct that the modern pizza
I believe
was
that's
made famous
I think
from New York.
A traditional Italian pizza is like a
Flatbread.
slab of flatbread with
Yeah.
some cheese
Super
on top, or
simple.
just some tomato.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
I'll
fair.
give you that one.
Mm.
But people in New York are fanatic about their pizza.
Chicago too.
I don't know how I feel about the New York style pizza though, because I don't like how much bread I don't like a bready pizza. And aren't New York style pizzas super bready?
No,
am I
not
not?
necessarily. I think
Chicago's
they're
the deep
thinner.
dish.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe that's the
Chicago.
one I don't.
Yeah.
I hate it. I hate me a dish. Oh God, I'd rather have me a thin crust pizza.
I think you just haven't had the right one yet.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I can't. I went to me and a friend of mine went to Hot Springs around this time last summer. We went for the 4th of July and we went to this pizza place and she had one pizza and then I got one. One was a deep dish and then one was like a regular old pizza or whatever. Deep dish? Disgusting. It's so greasy. I can't do it.
Don't tell that to my mom.
Oh, God.
It's just her favorite is deep dish. Although the way she would make it when we were kids is she used to make homemade bread. So what she'd do is she'd just take her homemade bread recipe, lay it down about 1 inch thick in a pan, and then make pizza over it. So you'd end up with basically bread pizza that was like 2 inches thick. One
thing that I cannot get anywhere is the classic public school pizza.
Is that what you got a hankering for?
I don't know what it is.
It's so good.
Every Friday at our school or whatever, pizza day.
Yep.
And it was just it was a sheet tray.
Mm-hmm.
They cut it into rectangles and
they stopped doing those.
Tasted
Really?
of chemicals.
Yeah. So I think they stopped doing those after I got out of school because I remember those. And then I had gone to youth ministry. I'd gone up to like one of the schools. I went up Central Heights and they like had pizza that was like, and it had cheese in the crust. And I was like, this is terrible and sad. Like, you don't get to live the same life that I did.
with like the little bitty shreds of pepperoni.
Yes.
I don't know what it is about
It's
it.
so good.
Maybe it's just because it brings back memories, but
I don't know. There's certain junk foods that are just like a McDouble, McDonald's. It's
my
just like,
gosh. I had.
I mean, not very often, but it's like when you do, it's like,
Oh man, yeah. I like a couple months ago, a friend of mine was eating McDonald's. I totally was like, ew, that's disgusting. I can't believe you're eating McDonald's. Like totally kind of went for his throat. And then the other day, I went with a youth student she wanted McDonald's. And I literally was like, she's in the front seat. And I was like, that's what you want out of everything that you get that you want McDonald's.
Teeth.
And she's like, yeah, it's like right down the road. And I'm like, okay. So I take her to McDonald's and I order chicken nuggets. And when I was a kid, I always got the chicken nuggets and I would either use sweet and sour sauce or I'd dip it in. This is kind of gross to some people, but if you haven't tried it, try it before you judge me. Dip it in their ranch and barbecue. So you got to mix it.
yeah.
Oh my gosh. It was a life-changing experience. I feel like it brought life back into me. I was like, wow. I don't know if it was just nostalgic.
See, I don't know about that. The only thing I like there is a McDouble. Like everything else, like the Big Mac, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
it's
I
like
don't
I
like
can
a
live
Big
without
Mac.
it. But there's something about a McDouble.
I agree.
Some certain like flavor that's only there in that thing.
Chemical.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
sure it
it.
is. Yeah. By no
don't
means
even-
is this an endorsement of McDonald's.
Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba.
Subway, on the other hand.
Ooh.
Same thing. I generally try to, but like I used to be a big Subway fiend, and now it's like there's a certain flavor in their bread, their mustard, and their Chipotle sauce. When you mix those things
so
together,
good.
like nothing else.
You mix their Chipotle and mustard?
Yellow mustard, not spicy mustard. Like no, I mean you just put them on the sandwich together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's mixed, still mixed. You eat it on the same sandwich.
Yes.
Huh.
And why is that smell so defining?
What is that? What
I mean,
is it
it's
making
clearly
that
not
smell?
the cardboard because they were supposed to have taken that out of the bread. So it's something else.
We were in a gas station the other day. I didn't even realize there was a Subway in there.
You smelled
It's
it.
like
And I smelt it as
It's
soon as I
like
walked in.
it's like a hint of tang.
Tang?
Yeah, there's a little tang.
It's
there.
like a ranchy smell.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah,
I'm smelling
yeah.
their ranch mixed with the pickles and jalapenos, but also chicken.
But it's on the sandwich without the ranch. Like I never put ranch
I
on the
know.
sandwich. And
I
it's still
don't know
there.
what that is. I
It's
can't. I
just
can
a
never
certain
figure it out.
tang. I think to the bread.
I feel like tang's a good word there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Citric acid.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh,
You
memories.
ever been fasting and then you start dreaming about what junk food you're gonna go get when you get off the fast?
Because I feel like, I don't know if we talked about this last podcast, but when I was like 19, I decided that I was going to go to Tijuana and have surgery to lose weight. And so I did. And so I can't eat a lot of food.
Mm.
And so I when I fast now, like when I'm ending the near the fast, nothing sounds good. And I know if I eat junk food, like
Yeah, you're gonna feel terrible.
it's going to make,
no
and
doubt
it
about that.
actually makes me nauseous to think about it. So I always have to break a fast with like crackers or soup or
Broth. I think broth is the best
something
thing.
like, yeah.
Hmm.
So no, I don't. I literally think about broth or soup or something.
Yeah. When I was younger, it would be like, I'm going to go to this restaurant. I'm going to go to this restaurant. I never did it afterwards. Because as soon as you eat your first meal, you're like, oh, all that went away. Now what I do is I start building a menu of recipes that I want to cook.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I do.
I like that idea.
Although I think that kind of takes the point off of the fasting because you start obsessing about food rather than focusing on spiritual things.
Yeah.
So Terrell would not approve.
Yeah.
I don't think.
The last fast we did, I feel like we had our I don't even know what meeting. Oh, I do remember because we as the staff will get together and kind of pray and worship together a little bit. And one morning we had gotten together and we were praying and worshiping, and I don't remember who said what, but someone came in and they're like, I'm hungry, and we were all like, yeah, we're all hungry. And we were all like, we started talking about food. And they're like, this sounds good. And I think someone mentioned barbecue. And then I was like, oh man, now I kind of want something. And now I'm feeling hungry. Because it's easy for me to not feel hungry. Like I can go time without feeling hungry. Like I can work all day and not really feel hungry. And then I get to the evening and I'm like, oh my God, I'm hungry. Like it hits me, you know?
Does it like hit you as a fatigue or as like a,
I think
like a hunger pang?
I think it's all the above. I'll like start to crash and I'm like, why am I so tired? And it's like, oh, I'm hungry. And then I'm like, oh God, I'm hungry. And I feel it. And then I like get a little hangry. Yeah. It's not good. I don't do that often anymore. But anyways, yeah, we started talking about food, and then that prayer and worship kind of turned into like us talking about food for a little bit. And then we ended up praying at some point, I think. I mean, I know we did, but we talked about food for a while. So it's funny.
As a group of
fasting staff at the church. Yeah. Quite funny.
So what's fasting like for you?
What is fasting like for me? I love to fast. I will say it really is kind of a cheat thing for me because it's not hard for me to fast. Like I do feel the hunger pains. Obviously, day 3 is usually the day that I'll get a real bad headache. But
are you just doing water?
Usually. I get headaches, so I kind of stay with the headache every day of my life. I've had that since I was a kid. I don't really know why, but I just usually always have some kind of headache. But they'll get real bad. So I think it's 4 different kinds of headaches that I'll get. But anyways, on day 3, I'll usually let myself have a black coffee in the morning to try and help prevent that headache. And it helps a little bit. And then after that, I'll let myself have a black coffee one a day, and then maybe a tea in the afternoon. But yeah, I usually just try to do water with a little salt or something.
Yeah, little electrolytes.
Yep.
That's what plants crave.
Yeah. But the only thing for me is like, the only thing for me in fasting, I don't really struggle with like wanting to eat. Obviously, there's a want to eat, but like, yeah, usually it's the headache for me. But yeah.
What's the longest you've gone?
Fasting? Oh God. I tried to do... I almost did a week and a half one time, and that was like 4 years ago. 4 years ago now, I think. 3 or 4 years ago. Went a week and a half, and then after that, I was like, I can't do this anymore. But I haven't tried to push again beyond that.
Yeah.
So maybe I should. I should pray about that.
I don't know, like I've always heard to hit increments of 7 and then the day after that. So 8 days, 15 days, 22 days. Like you break it on that day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because like you
Okay.
get supposedly, I mean, I guess like I've only gone 9 days. So, to actually like feel like when you hit those breakthroughs, but you'll hit like a point where you feel really down and then you'll bump over that and feel really good. And when you feel good, that's when you should break it fast.
Okay.
Shouldn't break it fast when you feel down. So I've heard, because that's you're
Oh.
like having a clean out period or something.
Okay. That makes sense.
Not medical advice.
Please.
Yeah,
We are not doctors.
we are not.
I was sad when we didn't do art because we usually do one at the beginning of June.
Mm.
But I think it fell on Mission Nac week, and I think they were like, we can't fast during Mission Nac.
You can.
That's a hard ask.
You can.
It'd be hard.
That's a
It
hard
would be difficult.
Yeah, it would be difficult.
So I think that
Everyone would be laying on the ground, sweating, heat strokes.
ugh. And I was
Yeah, you don't want that.
already sick for Mission Nac. So and then I had the youth retreat. Yeah, that would have probably killed me.
How big is the youth group now?
So we just added 8 6th grade boys. So now we're looking at 40.
Wow.
Yeah. And then next year, which I think we lose 3 seniors after that, so really not that many. Then next year, what I've heard around the block is I think we're getting like 15
15?
6th graders next year. And then the next year, it's like 19.
Oof.
I was like, oh, Lord, we're about to.
You're going to have your hands full.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is good. But also, we got to find some volunteers.
You need some assistance.
Yeah. So if y'all are watching,
Call them out.
What are you looking for in an assistant with youth?
Well, we've so me and some of the other leadership at the church have been like working through what youth ministry, like the leadership in youth ministry needs to look like for the next year to 5 years. And so we're really, if I could have 2 people, one person to kind of own high school and coordinate high school, and one to coordinate middle school. And that would look like this person is facilitating curriculum on a Wednesday night, and this person's facilitating curriculum on a Wednesday night for those said groups. And then we have volunteers who come in and do the like one-on-one discipleship and lead the small groups and things like that, which the discipleship doesn't happen on a Wednesday night. That happens, So for example, Jesus and Lacey are two of my leaders now, who are rolling on to another year. So they've been discipling some kids for the past couple months, and they kind of meet like before church, or they'll meet up at Java Jacks or whatever, and they go through a curriculum there. So yeah, really it's them. If I could have people who could take that curriculum and run that, and then be checking with my discipleship people, that way I can like build curriculum and disperse it, and then actually be able to do the pastoral thing, because it feels like I've been doing so much organizational stuff. It takes away from me being able to do like the one-on-one
like counseling
stuff with kids. Or I'll give because that's the part that I love to do with kids. I love to get in the middle of their mess, and I love to be there with them. Like that's the part that I got into the job for. And so when I get to do that, it makes everything else super difficult for me to focus on. So it's like organizationally, that stuff falls away if I'm giving myself to that. Does that make sense? And so that's where I've struggled. And I'm trying to grow of like, I need to be better organizationally and planning wise and all that stuff. But it takes away from me being able to meet with the students. And that part hurts my heart. But anyways, that's just a place where I'm trying to like grow and learn right now. But yeah, if I could have 2 people really to own a piece of that organizationally, then I can do what I need to do. So yeah.
What does the curriculum focus on?
So
you're gonna write some yourself, or like create some yourself? Is that
well,
what you're
I
saying?
have been doing curriculum. So like
Okay.
everything that we've done at youth, it's been me.
It's not farmed out.
No.
Sweet.
It's been me doing it. Which takes a lot of time.
I'm sure. Yeah.
but it's also me being stubborn, because buying curriculum to me, which this is no shade to anyone else that buys curriculum. So if you're watching and you buy curriculum, good for you. I'm glad that you can do that. I'm just really stubborn. So if I buy curriculum, it feels like I'm not doing my job, which I'm also like, that's ridiculous. I know that's ridiculous. But anyways.
Well, I mean, I commend you. Like, I think that you're putting more effort. You're going above and beyond, and you're not just like
it just
picking that off a shelf.
Yeah, it just feels less like I want it to be what the kids need, what these kids need, you know?
And then you also know exactly what you're teaching them.
Exactly. But I feel like, so I have quite a few youth pastor friends who use different curriculums, and I have one specifically who they'll kind of work off different ones, and then they kind of like morph it to what their kids need. And so I've kind of started doing that for this next year, because I'm trying to take the summer to build out a schedule where everything's done for the year. So all I have to do is go grab it and disperse it so that like my leaders have it, I have it, I'm ready to teach the lesson on Wednesday nights. I can give it to parents before so the parents can prepare their kids at home for it. And then the parents can have tools to like engage their kids after Wednesday night. So I'm trying to like get ahead of all that. So I have been using little bits and pieces of curriculum to fit where I feel like the Lord's taking our youth ministry this year. So, but it hasn't been, it's not like we're taking this and copying and pasting it here. It's like, okay, I'm reading this and I don't like that, and I like this, and this is good, and blah, blah, blah. So, but it has been helpful to use curriculum.
You ever get pushback from parents, like theologically, on what you're teaching?
Honestly, I've never had like a theological pushback. No, I do get youth ministry. You're going to get pushback from parents, period. That is part of the job. Like,
what kind of pushback?
Usually it's,
I don't know how much dirt you want. How
much? Usually it's not. We don't have enough information. We don't know what's going on, or something was miscommunicated by me. So then, which it's funny because most of the parents I like personally know. So it's like if I've miscommunicated something, you should know me well enough to know that that's not my heart. And just come talk to me about it. But that's never really how it goes, you know? But yeah, it's usually stuff like that. It's honestly little nitpicky things, which I'm okay with. That's not a complaint at all. But it's usually like little things that's like, why is this what's making you mad? When there's like so many other really important things going on in your kid's life.
Do you ever get any trouble from Ben?
No, literally the Scheck-Snyders are like... Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, they're great. Nothing but support there. I feel support from all my parents. I don't want anyone to hear that wrong. But yeah, no. Scheck-Snyders are great. You got anything you need to say?
No.
Were you fishing for a compliment or an insult?
No, I'm just making sure there's no problems here.
No, the kiddos have been receptive and really enjoyed you stepping up and taking over.
Yeah. That's good. I love them. But yeah.
It's just a bunch of girl drama in my house.
Oh, Lord.
I bet.
Just a bunch.
You are the only man in that house.
Mm-hmm.
So we have the same number of girls in our house, but we have some offset too.
How many kids do y'all have? 5?
Yeah.
And y'all want more, right?
I didn't say that.
Oh, okay.
I did not say that either, but
it is like not an option, right?
We'll see.
It's just like if it happens, it happens. Is that what we're at? Okay. Yeah. I was just curious. I was talking to Katie.
It's not about me. It's about Katie,
right?
My wife. Like,
yeah.
Does she want to have that many more sleep? Another year of sleepless nights, another child who has to be serviced continually for
months and months.
I heard
doesn't sound like I do anything, does it?
I heard her make her comment the other day that was probably going to be the last one.
It could be.
So at the women's retreat, I got a chance to visit with her for a little bit, and we were just chatting, and she mentioned, did you want 7? I don't know if I'm remembering this right.
Originally, I said
Originally
7.
7. Okay.
Yeah, she said 5.
Okay. So I
7.
was like, 7? That's 2 more. And she's like, yeah. And she's just like smiling. And I was like, are we going to have more? And she's like, I don't know. And I was like, okay. All right, girl. You're a rock star.
I guess we don't want to be definitive on that one.
She wasn't against having more when I talked to her, but she also wasn't like, yeah, let's do it.
Right.
I think we need a full-time nanny if we're going to do that.
Yeah, you might have to, for sure.
Yeah.
But I support.
Children are a blessing.
I love a house full of crazy kids. I've always wanted a big family. I say that knowing that that's probably going to look different when I get to that point in my life. But I love going to the Eggers house and the kids being crazy like that. I love that environment.
But you don't live with them.
I don't live with them. But there was a point in my life when I was over there a lot. And then I love so my brother, he only has 2, but his 2 girls are wild. Like they can be chill, but they can get wild. So when they're wild, it's like 10 kids and 2. It's crazy. And I love it. And I love when the youth, like at the youth retreat, they have this thing where we have a dance party and we just sit in there and kind of acting crazy and stuff. I love stuff like that. I love when there's just.
What kind of dance party?
It's
like, is it techno? Like, what are y'all doing? Like,
no, it's usually the same song, and it's what song is that?
You're not line dancing. You're not,
Oh, absolutely not. I'm so against line
dancing.
dance.
Square dance.
No,
you're against it.
I'm not a
organized dancer.
I'm not an organized dancer. No.
See, like my parents. Well, my dad was against dancing growing up, so we were never allowed to dance. I guess maybe he would let us do the single person. Like, is this a single, like, no partners dance?
Yeah, it wasn't anything. It literally is like, we'll put on Goodbye Yesterday and we're just jumping.
So it's like a Christian rave.
Yeah. Or there's one song that we'll do that's not really a Christian song. What is it? We Are Young by.
Fun?
Yeah, that's who it is. Yeah. Those kids love that song.
Song of the Summer 2012?
Yeah. They love that song. 2012. How do you know stuff like that?
I was going to say 2013, but I'm pretty sure it was earlier than that. 2013 was somebody that I used to know.
I love that you know this.
You probably can't push me much further past that.
Like past
someone that I used to know, like he didn't do anything else. That was like a
go tier.
Yeah, he had some other stuff, but
one hit wonder.
But nothing that was ever. But he just left the limelight too. I don't think he tried anything more, as far as I know. And then, now there's that new song "Anxiety," which is sampling it.
Anxiety.
Yeah, have you heard that one?
No.
So it was playing on pop radio a whole bunch.
I don't.
But it's sampling somebody that I used to know. The whole beat is
really.
Yeah. The rhythm, the beat. I don't know music. What am I talking about? It's one of those things. We can't play it.
I'll have to listen to it later.
But yeah.
Oh man, I remember the music video was so weird to that song.
You know the bass player, I think it's the bass player in Fun. He went on to do a band called Bleachers, which is actually, they have some really good music.
Bleachers. That sounds familiar.
But yeah. We were not allowed to listen to any of this kind of stuff as kids either. We were like restricted to, Ben and I were talking about this the other day. We were restricted to hymnals and Christian music and maybe some like offshoot contemporary like Keith Green, but like nothing else.
Nothing else?
Nothing else.
Were you like that too?
We couldn't even listen to oldies.
No. I was like, you weren't like that.
We listened to oldies and Christian rock. But his family didn't even listen to that.
Yeah.
We weren't even allowed to watch Lord of the Rings.
Really?
Yeah. Now, at a certain point, like, I'm not going to say my parents lost control of us, but they stopped policing us. And like I said, I didn't really rebel. But like when it came to like watching movies and stuff, you can say I pretty well rebelled. And when it came to entertainment, yeah, sure. All other areas, no.
You're like, what's this world all about?
I watched a lot of movies. I watched Braveheart when I was 8.
Absolutely.
Not with my parents.
How did you watch that without them catching you?
I don't know. Like Daniel, my older brother came over and he's like, "Hey, I got Braveheart," and he's like 4 years older than I am. He put it in the VCR and we just sat there and watched it in the living room.
I love that.
I don't know who was supposed to be watching us. I don't believe we were being parented. Back in the 90s, we were being parented, but back in the 90s, like, man, you could latchkey kids, like you just nobody was around watching you. Once you hit like 8, 9, 10, you were on your own.
That's how it was for me. My parents would, as long as I so the road that we live on, it's my house, my grandma's house, and then the house my brother actually lives in now was at the time a crack house. So like these
Very
people,
child safe environment
for sure.
Yeah.
But like I would go out and play basketball.
Friendly
and
crack
the
kids.
guy would walk out and wave, and like we knew that he wasn't going to do anything to me. They would have cars pull up. He'd do his little cell. The car would pull off, and like we don't live in a bad part of town.
So he was just dealing.
He's just dealing. No, he made it in the house. And
when you say crack house, I think a place that you go and do crack.
I mean, there was for sure crack going on. Like they were for sure doing it in the house and making it and selling it from the house.
Now,
So like
we found out in last episode that Amos has never smoked meth. So
that's good.
This is a great turn.
I've never done that either.
episode.
Have you tried it?
No.
But crack cocaine.
I'm sure I would like it. Like I'm pretty sure that I would like Adderall if I went down that road.
Oh, I'm for sure that I'd love all of it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's why I never tried it.
Right.
I had
That's what we need for a shirt. It's like my face and said never tried meth.
absolutely.
I just think
Christians talking about shit, never tried meth.
That's merch.
Yeah.
That's good. I like that.
We're gonna have one with Ben's face that says, "What are we doing here?"
I would almost argue, sorry to bring it back to drugs, but I would almost argue that it probably wasn't crack. It was probably meth.
For sure.
And yeah, it's pretty crazy how prevalent it is just across the US. It's pretty wild how just it, hearing Brian's testimony the other day, you would never have thought that he struggled with that or whatever the case may be, right? It's just like, wow, really? And so when, because growing up in a different country, obviously did not have any experience with any.
Well, yeah, and where you grew up like that. Yeah, you death penalty, right?
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah. They don't take kindly to mind altering substances. You can have alcohol, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Bunch of alcoholics.
Yeah.
That's why they didn't need it.
Yeah.
Just
Why
gave
is it
themselves
that
alcoholism.
alcohol is so socially acceptable and everything else isn't? Not that the other things should be socially acceptable, but it's just, I don't know. I probably know the answer to that.
With the history of it in the United States, I think they saw the ramifications after Prohibition and they were like, oh.
What were the ramifications?
I mean, essentially the mafia.
It's a rampant crime.
Yeah. Just took over and just underground sell distribution. Because people were going to get their fix one way or the other. And then we're talking about just alcohol.
Yeah.
Moonshining.
Now you want to get into conspiracy theories about Prohibition.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot. I know there was, so it did get spurred on by some genuine causes where like when distillation became very common, because it really wasn't common until the 1800s, people were just getting wasted. It was kind of like the opium dens in China, where like everyone was just a useless drunk. I mean, everyone's hyperbolic, but a lot of people were getting drunk and just wasted, and families were being ruined by men who just go out and get sloshed. And so there was a lot of women who were behind the Prohibition movement because it was ruining their families. But then there's also this other group coming behind. If you want to go down the conspiracy theory route, Henry Ford, like, I believe he wanted to have a still in every farm to make fuel for your Model T. And the oil companies weren't going to have that.
Right.
That's the conspiracy theory. I think there's one around.
Wouldn't that be an interesting world to live in where everyone has their own distillery in the backyard?
That's wild.
Fueling up the
We'd be growing way more corn.
the ethanol.
But like corn, I mean, I think in part, I mean, fossil fuels. I say with quotes as Christians, whatever that means.
That's such a deep layered joke right there. Oh gosh.
I think they make better fuel though than alcohol does, but maybe it's the engines. I don't know. I'm not an engineer in that regard.
I think it burns a lot cleaner ethanol.
I mean, there's a lot of vehicles that, like for race cars and stuff, don't drag racers, dragsters like 100% ethanol? I think. I don't know. But yeah, that would be the conspiracy behind prohibition, why they wanted to make alcohol illegal, and then obviously it created a whole bunch of crime, bootlegging, and
They do.
and then but see, the other thing too is they didn't make alcohol legal again. They just decriminalized it and then taxed it.
Right.
So that's why the ATF is alcohol, tobacco, and firearms, is because alcohol is still highly regulated since then.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You ever made moonshine?
I've not made beer and wine.
Yeah.
Have you ever made moonshine?
Mm-hmm.
You've made moonshine?
Mm-hmm.
I don't like moonshine.
Was it like out of what?
But that's cool that you made it.
It was all right.
What was your process?
I mean, look it up on YouTube.
Well, I know how it works. I'm curious how you did it.
Oh yeah, YouTube.
Oh, do you have a video on this?
No, I didn't make a video.
You just followed a video
I'm
on
just
YouTube.
saying. I mean,
You
it wasn't
YouTube.
Yeah. You put your coils and.
What were your base ingredients?
It was so long ago.
Potatoes?
I don't remember. No,
Corn
no,
mash?
it was a corn mash, I think.
Trying to make a whiskey?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've always wanted to get into making wine, but I just haven't.
It's not hard.
It's not. It's really not. I know.
There's a process at the beginning, and then there's the hardest thing is the amount of time you have to wait.
Mm-hmm. How long? Tell me about you making wine.
So we primarily did fruit wines.
Mm-hmm.
So we would do choke cherries and strawberry, and I'm trying to think we did anything else crazy, but those were the main two. Because we had a lot of choke cherries up in Minnesota, and it makes a very nice, kind of almost like a Cabernet kind of wine.
Okay.
Or a Pinot Noir. But yeah, you would add your sugar, you'd mash your berries, you'd put them we use pantyhose, put them in a pantyhose to mash them up to keep the pulp, contained. You would make a mash with that, cast your yeast, ferment that for 5 to 7 days. I forget. It's been a while since we did it. And then you would rack that into 6.5 gallon carboys, airlock it so oxygen doesn't get in.
Mm-hmm.
So you got this little topper thing that has water in it. It lets air out, but it doesn't let air in.
Mm-hmm.
And then you let that sit for, I don't know, I forget, month and a half, 2 months before the first racking. And then you'd rack it several times over a year or so to make it cleaner and get the sediment out of it. We just had a few batches go bad, and it's like, man, that was a lot of work for a batch to go bad.
Yeah.
I just said it was easy, but it feels like a lot of work too.
Moonshine is a lot of work.
I bet.
Yeah.
Beer is a lot easier. Beer's,
right.
That's about 3 hours on an afternoon. You brew it, you boil it, you boil your malted barley, you get your flavor barley in there, you cast your hops, you cool it down with a chiller. You want to cool it as fast as possible because then you can it's still sterilized before you put it into your mash bucket. Cast your yeast. That sits for 5 days, and then you just bottle it up and let it carbonate.
Huh.
And then I think a week or two.
Yeah.
You can start drinking it. Yeah.
That's cool.
It's been a while since I made that too. It's just a lot of work. I don't drink a lot of beer. So a lot of what I have been seeing recently is just how bad alcohol is for the human body. There really is because for a long time they were saying there's a benefit. It really seems like to me the only benefit anymore is just it loosens you up. So if you have a lot of anxiety, it might loosen you up. But other than that, it's just poison.
Yeah, I could see that. I have I'll have a cocktail every now and then with friends or whatever. But since January, I really haven't had any desire to really drink anything other than wine. I'll still drink wine here and there. I do like wine. But other than that, I'm like, I don't like whiskey at all. I don't like the smell of whiskey.
But you like cigars, but no whiskey with the cigar.
No. I'll drink wine with a cigar. And what's really good.
I don't know about that combination.
Oh, no, it's good. Trust me. It's good. Ooh.
What's good? Tell us about it.
Yeah, tell us about it.
No, I had tried this a couple weeks ago with my cousin Seth. He just gotten engaged, and we were having a party or whatever for him. And I had bought this bottle of Malbec from Central Market, and I'd gotten into this long talk with the guy that works at Central Market about Malbec. It's my favorite kind of wine, whatever. So he'd picked this one out, and I was like, okay, I want it. And I think it was way too expensive, but he had talked me into it immediately, so I didn't care.
What's
I was
way
like,
too expensive?
swiping the card.
Yeah, what is way too expensive?
Yeah.
Well, for the salary that I make and the bills that I pay and what I should have paid for a bottle of wine, I didn't need to pay $87 for that bottle of wine.
That is
But
occasion.
It was a special occasion. I didn't really share it because no one else liked it. None of my friends and people that I normally hang out with they like their wine sweet. I don't like sweet wine.
What's wrong with your friends?
I don't know. I'm like, you don't like wine. So
Clearly not.
clearly don't like wine, which is
Just
fine.
have a cocktail.
Exactly. Just have cocktail. It's okay. You do you, I'll do me, but just have cocktail. Don't waste your money on wine.
Right.
But yeah, so I had taken the cigar and I dipped it into the wine and smoked it. And I know you're making a face at me. It was incredible.
Well, dipping your cigar in whiskey is like nice.
But this wine was like really earthy, peppery, and the cigar was too.
What you could do is get a smoking chamber, and then you blow the smoke from the cigar in. Like you put the glass of wine in the chamber, you blow the smoke in there and fill it, and then you let it sit for a minute or so, and then take it off, and you get like a smoked wine.
Oh.
Other way.
Oh.
Other way?
I mean, exact opposite way of what she was doing. Put the wine in the cigar, but now you're putting the cigar in the wine.
Correct. Yes. Yeah, that's the thing people do. They do it with whiskeys. I'm sure I'm sure they do it with wines.
Oh. I might have to try that. That was brilliant. Okay. I'll report back.
Yeah. So this is our new segment.
Our new
with
segment.
Maelee, yeah.
I know.
What makes Maelee angry?
Okay, that's incredible. I wasn't expecting there to be like an intro.
Stinger.
That
You get a
is
stinger.
incredible.
I think that might be yeah.
Oh man. Okay, well I made a list.
Was it a long list?
It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, yeah, it's kind of long. Probably
Okay.
like a good 20, 25. We don't have to get through all of them today.
25?
There might be
Oh,
25.
so you had a list. Like,
Yeah.
You really
Listen, since the last time I have been editing this list, and honestly, it's been a point of growth for me because it's like, why am I letting all these things aggravate me so much? So I want you to know this has been a self-reflection thing.
Okay.
Interesting.
But yeah. We do have quite a few things on here.
So are we going by like order of importance, like make you the most angry, or just as you wrote them down?
I think it's just as I experienced
Did
them.
stuff come off the list as you were going through?
No.
No, nothing came off.
Nothing's come Nothing's made it off the list yet. If anything, the list just continues to grow. But it's been a couple months, and so I feel like they're only being about 20, which I'm looking at it, and I don't really know if 20 is accurate, but they're only being about 20. I feel pretty good about that.
Yeah, we're gonna nothing specific to any person.
No.
Just situational.
Yeah, it would be like
Could be Terrell though.
Anybody?
Well, she says Terrell.
Yeah, anybody out there that reads too much into this list and may get offended, go ahead and
take those angry panties off and put your joyful panties on, and we're gonna be fine. I will say,
I don't have that drawer. It's not how I store my underwear.
Joyce had said something about, oh gosh, she said you can get glad in the same panties you got mad in or something a couple months ago. And so that's just been like a joke that we've all had. Anyways, I will say, as I wrote these down, it was because I either experienced it and it was like, God, I can't stand when people do that. Or it was like, I did it and I was like, ugh, I can't stand that I do that or something like that. So again, if you know that this was you, just don't take offense, please.
Or comment in the
Or
comment.
put a comment on there.
Yeah.
Leave a comment.
We can talk about it if you need to. So I'm just going to go in a random order here. Actually, I don't really know what order to start in.
Start at the beginning.
Start at the top. Okay. People who drive slow in the right lane.
In the right lane.
No, the left lane.
Okay.
Not the right lane. I wrote down the right lane.
Slow lane.
No, people who drive slow, period. No.
Define slow. What's slow?
Under the speed limit.
If you were driving...
So you have to drive at the speed limit or over the speed limit? Because that's breaking the law if you're over the speed limit.
So not in Texas. So
I agree with that statement.
In Texas, the speed limit is the suggestion. You add 5 and that's what you should be going.
Okay, this is not legal advice?
This is
No,
not
we are
legal
not
advice.
lawyers.
Nope. This is not legal advice. This is just how Texas people drive.
Mm-hmm.
If you're in Houston, add 10 at least. And that's the speed limit you should be driving.
I think that's true for every city, though.
Yeah.
Like pretty much every city you go through, like you never hardly see anyone
Except for
over
Diboll.
on like a
Or Corman.
No, not but those aren't cities. Those are
That's
towns.
True.
Those are towns with speed traps.
True.
Any city where you have like 4 lanes, one way, barriers, like you're not getting pulled over there. So everyone just does 10 over.
Yeah.
In every city I've been to. And it's so but as far as driving slow in the fast lane is a hazard. You're dangerous. I think from a safety standpoint, from what I understand, is the safest speed to drive is slightly faster than everyone around you.
I completely agree with that.
Because then you're kind of staying ahead, but then you also got to be a good driver so you don't get into an accident. Because speed doesn't kill. Stopping suddenly kills. But
like I can't stand driving down North Street and people are going 35. It's
35.
It's set 35. You should be going 40. Even the cops are going 40. Even the cops are going 40. And I say this as someone who's grown up in Nacogdoches. If you're driving, I'm so serious. If you live in Nacogdoches and you're driving the speed limit, I promise you the cops are going at least 5 over and they will not pull you over. And if they do, then shame on them. Because they're driving at least 5 over.
We lived in Garrison, which was a speed trap. So
yes.
like, you don't speed through Garrison.
Nope, you don't.
Because you will get tagged. I always go the speed limit. Like everywhere I go the speed limit.
I'm proud of you. I am proud of you, but
it's also more wear and tear in your car. I think that's a big factor. It's like it's not so much about like not speeding, it's about not, it's wear and tear and then gas and then
to be perfectly honest,
dangerous.
I probably looked down once or twice, but as long as I'm staying with the flow of traffic,
that's how you should drive.
But when you're on like say 59, there is no flow of traffic. You're just
you're
out
I'm
there
looking.
on your own.
Yeah, then I'm paying attention.
And 75 is like it's fast enough.
I'll set my cruise control to 80. I just drove to Dallas the other day and the speed limit was on I think it was like 75. I set that thing on 80 and I was going. I was listening to John Mayer. And I was just driving.
That makes you drive fast, John Mayer.
You'd think it wouldn't, but yes. Yeah. John Mayer should soothe things.
I heard the other day someone was talking about I forget what they called it, but instead of a speedometer, it was a gauge that tells you how long it will take you to go 10 miles. So if you're going 30 miles an hour, it will take you 20 minutes to make it 30 miles. Or take you 20 minutes to make it 10 miles. If you're going 60 miles an hour, it takes you 10 minutes to make it 10 miles. And the more you go up that list, the less you actually gain for as fast as you're going. So the difference between 70 and 75 and then 75 and 80 is marginal. Like you're gaining a minute over a 20-mile drive for the for the greater risk of going as fast as you're going.
Mm.
So when you have that gauge and you're looking at that instead of a speedometer, it's like, it kind of like psychologically trains you to go slower because you don't need to go as fast.
Mm.
Now, over a 12-hour drive, 5 miles per hour is 1 hour of driving.
Sure.
Driving back from Colorado last weekend, when we started, the map said we were going to be there at X whatever. I literally shaved off an hour.
That's my man.
The
That's
whole
it
way
right
back.
there.
I was chasing that clock.
Yep.
Now, I guess my philosophy is though, like, drive safely.
Yes.
That's my philosophy. And like,
I'm the safest
I like
driver
saving
know.
on gas. You save a lot between 70 and 80. There's you burn a lot more gas for what you're gaining, especially if you're driving from, one side of town to the other.
Humbled. I've been humbled a little bit. Just a little bit though.
Although I wouldn't take that off your list. I mean, people going slow.
Oh no, it's still going to be on the list.
It's a safety hazard.
I mean, people going slow in the right lane also really annoy me too.
So
only if there's someone in the right lane and someone in the left lane going the same speed and you can't get around them. Like if they're going 40 in a 70, then yeah, you're a problem over there.
You shouldn't have a license if you're going 40 and 70.
No, that's my
there's a
dad. My
problem
dad
with
once
your
got
car.
pulled over for going too slow.
Woohoo!
Now, once you do pass, are you automatically jumping over?
Generally I won't ride the left lane, no.
Yeah, I usually
Unless
usually
there's
get
a
back in
string
the
of
right.
traffic or you're out there alone, but like there's no reason to really ride the left lane.
Yeah, I don't like to drive in the left lane. It feels weird to me.
I feel like you're prone to get pulled over
it is
easier.
It is a ticketable offense.
If it's posted.
No?
For passing only.
I believe in Texas, it's everywhere. It's like if you're not passing, you don't need to be in the left lane.
I kind of think you might be right about that.
Not that anyone ever gets pulled over for it, but I have seen a few situations where if I was a cop, I would pull that person over.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think you're right about that.
What that say is the left lane, something about democratic? Is the left lane democratic? Yes, in Texas. Left lane.
And if we're passing
Is
only.
it ticketable though?
The Texas DOT often installs signs that explicitly state left lane for passing only on highways with speed limits of 75 miles per hour or higher. Don't know if it's a ticketable offense if you're just... Because I would say once you get into town...
Well, yeah,
I
if
think
you're
the
driving
left and
down,
right lane,
if you're driving down North Street,
yeah,
that's
Yeah, I
different.
don't
It's
think
really
that-
not about passing.
Yeah.
highway rules, I'll agree with you on
Well,
that.
the loop too.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you're not driving through town. Otherwise, yeah, stay in the right lane. All right, what's next?
Okay.
Did we solve that problem?
I think so. I like how we're
will
talking
it
these
come
through.
off your list now?
It might
or
come off
is
my
it
list.
Just gonna stay on the.
We'll see when I return back to driving, and I'll report back.
Yeah, is our goal to calm her
think
down?
I think that's what this has to be. The goal has to be either humble me or calm me down.
Mm.
All right. This is me secretly asking for help.
Well, we did prompt you to make this list, so
I love that. I really took this as seriously as I could. Okay. When you aim the remote at the TV and it doesn't work. So you're aiming it right where it needs to go and the TV, it's not working.
Is it one of those like cheap universal remotes, or is it the actual brand remote for the TV?
I just think, I don't know the answer to that, but I feel like I've experienced this multiple times in my life. And the remote to the TV I have, so preface, the TV I have is a TV that was free, and it was found in a basement at one of Terrell's like rent properties. So, it was a free TV.
It's probably a little,
But the remote came with the TV.
The remote was with the TV. I'm pretty sure
probably a little crack, like covering up the.
It's
IR
very
protector
possible.
or
Throwing
whatever.
it. Throwing
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
But, like, I
It came
literally-
from that crack house.
Literally.
Yeah.
I literally will point it at the TV and then have to get up and like walk over to it.
Mm.
It is the most frustrating thing.
Yeah, I think that's faulty. Now, I will say I have a remote that the batteries die within 2 to 3 weeks. And I have no idea. I have the exact same remote downstairs, and no issues, but for some reason it drains batteries like crazy.
That is how the remote. So at my parents' house, their remote does that too. In their living room, the remote in their room is fine, but their living room remote does that, and it ticks me off. Like,
was that later on the list?
No, but since we're talking about it, I'll add it on
I know we have a Samsung TV, and we have an aftermarket remote for it that looks exactly the same, but the aftermarket remote does not work as well as the original remote.
I'm pretty sure the remote that I have for this is the original remote, but I don't know. I might check. I'll check it out. I've stopped watching TV since this. This is like number 3 on the list.
You can get positives out of. I mean, you know what Anger is for, right? Like,
it's a smart TV, correct?
Yeah, it is actually.
They're all smart.
You
TVs
have an iPhone.
now. They're all smart TVs now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, my workaround for that, not that we're in like in problem solving mode or anything, but I personally use a Google Smart Home in my house, and so all my TVs are on that, and I just ask Google to turn on the TV. So that may be.
And you say you're not going to get a Neuralink.
Correct. They're already in my phone. They're already listening. The Wi-Fi bouncing off of people.
But you're allowing them to control your TVs and your plugs and all that stuff.
Yep.
All your data.
All of it.
All of it.
All of it.
It's a sacrifice we make.
But they won't get inside of here.
That's right.
Yeah, but they already know you better than you know yourself.
Maybe.
How do we know that though?
That's what they say, but that's probably what they want us to think.
Because who really knows?
Might as well surrender now.
Who really knows anything about themselves all the way? Now
maybe I've been feeding them
bad information,
false info.
Yeah, maybe I'm schizophrenic and I just don't even know it.
Watch out.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's going to stay on that one will stay on the list. That's a general irritation when things that are supposed to work don't work.
Yeah,
is a general irritation.
First world problems.
Yeah. No, it is. Yeah.
Huh? Did you guys? Probably you didn't, but did you grow up with an actual clicker,
like click,
like
click,
a TV?
clunk, clunk.
Yeah. Did you ever have one of those?
We didn't have that old of a TV.
Oh yeah, we were dirt poor growing up, and I remember distinctly, like core memory, we had one of those click click, rabbit ears.
Those make good props now.
3 or 4 channels.
What props if you're doing a 70s movie or something.
Yeah.
A clicker.
And I still call it a clicker, and my girls make fun of me.
That's why they called it the clicker, because it literally clicked. Click, click.
Huh.
It was like a big old switch, and it was like a clunk, clunk. Yeah. Very tactile.
Wow. Yeah, that was before my time, I guess. Oh, wow. Yeah, I've seen these before. Okay, yeah. Grandparents had one of those. We do not in my house. Okay,
Back in the CRT. Well, I mean, that was CRT didn't end until the 2000s, but those are back in like the 70s, 60s.
Yeah, that was.
I mean, back then, the remote was your kid. You send them to the TV and have them change the channel. And they always work, so, right?
The kids always work?
The kids always work.
Not now.
I don't know about my house. They're not always working.
Not now.
They're not functioning. They're malfunctioning.
The cost of complaining may outweigh the actual ask.
Okay, so moving on to the next one. So on a sink, specifically a kitchen sink, when there's 2 settings and it's like a regular stream, that's what it should be, regular stream, but you can switch it to like that shower
sprayer.
Yeah.
Really?
People who use the shower sprayer. Actually, let me stop. I'll use the shower sprayer if I'm washing dishes, but if you leave it on the shower sprayer and I come back and turn it on and it's like, and I get wet, I don't want to talk to you ever again.
Mm-hmm. Why would you get wet?
Because it sprays.
So
okay.
Going back to like people being specifically on this list, who is on this list? Like who did this to you?
You are.
You know who you are. No, just kidding. So the first off, The sink at the church has this.
Mm.
Okay. So I went in probably a couple months ago, and so I don't know who did it. I don't know who did it. If you know who did it, you owe me an apology. I'm just kidding. But I go in the kitchen of the church, and I was washing some dishes that we had used for youth or something, and I turned the water on, and actually, no, I was washing my French press. It was not for youth. It was from completely myself. Washing my French press, turn it on, and it's like spraying down into the French press and comes out because it's coming out with force, and it gets me wet, and I was ticked. Why would you not just leave it on the regular?
Because when you're done, you just turn it off.
You're not thinking. It's like not putting the toilet seat down.
Oh, don't even get me started on that.
Why would you not
Why would you not what?
put the toilet seat
I
down?
mean, we are talking to a man who lives.
Are
in a
you
house with all
kidding
women.
me? Why would I? If it was down and I had to lift it up, if you're going to have to go, you're going to have to lift it down. You're going to have to set it back
Majority
down.
rules.
I mean, there's the philosophy of like, if I have to lift it and then put it down, I have to make 2 maneuvers. Whereas if you just have to put it down, you have to make
Then
one.
we both have to make one maneuver.
Yeah.
Fair. Fair.
Or,
Fair is
just
fair.
put both lids down so it looks pleasant and the toilet's closed. And
I
then
don't-
everyone has to open
Oh my
it,
gosh. Okay.
and everyone has to close it.
This is about to be a little mini rabbit trail.
Now, I do live in a house with 4 children who use the bathroom. And my pet peeve is just in general not
They
not
use the
flushing.
bathroom? That's wild.
Well, 4 of them do. One of them does not currently use the toilet because he's too young. Though someday.
Someday he will be there.
But just not flushing.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, that's what you have to put up with when you have little kids,
Oh.
is just not flushing.
You know,
Like, why does the room smell like poop? Oh,
because there's poop in the toilet.
yeah.
Who left this in here?
Yeah. We're going through that stage.
Mm.
And
Although I believe it's getting better. I haven't
tough.
noticed as much recently. Yeah.
The other day, we have to touch on this because you said it would look pleasant if you just closed the lid. I was on TikTok, which I'm on TikTok way too much. There's actually a pet peeve. We'll jump to that one next.
Any being on TikTok is too much.
I know. I agree with you, but it's what I do. We'll work on that. We'll work on it. But I was watching TikTok the other day, saw this TikTok. This old lady was putting flowers in her toilet. So she took the lid off the top of the toilet, the where you would flush at. What is that part of the toilet called? Do we know?
tank.
Back from the tank?
The tank. Yeah, she took the lid off the tank and is putting flowers, real flowers, in the water. So it looks nice. Yeah, like a
But
bouquet
the
of
finish
flowers.
on top is not meant for that, so it would just look
No. So I'm thinking like,
redneck. Not even redneck. That'd be an insult to redneck.
I mean,
What
it
do you call
was interesting. She put this whole bouquet of flowers in there, and it was like,
Was it her explaining how to do this thing so
Yeah.
that you can make your bathroom look prettier?
yeah, she was like,
What?
it was just like it was an older.
How many views? How many views?
Oh, a ton. So many.
So have you noticed?
So many likes,
I mean,
comments.
So going off on a
everything.
different tangent, but like, so one way to go viral is to do something that everyone's going to complain about. So have you ever seen like a video where someone's making a sandwich? It's just a video of them making a sandwich,
Mhm.
but the bread is moldy.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
And
Yes.
so it's like, it just, people lose their minds and it gets traction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we live in a hater culture.
It's
yes,
so
but also
funny,
it's
though.
just, it's more like just negativity.
Yeah.
It's like we thrive on negative things rather than positive things.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
It's just funny.
Yeah.
But
So
this-
I bet you she doesn't really do that.
I don't know.
No, there's no way.
I don't know.
If I walked into somebody's house and saw that,
I mean, she was like, guys, look, it
You'd have
flushes and
questions?
everything.
Or you'd just be leaving.
I don't know what I would think. I'm like,
I was originally like, there's no way you can flush the toilet if there's flowers in there, but she flushed it.
no,
It was
it'll
fine.
flush. As long as
Which
you're not
doesn't make
covering
sense.
up the stopper. As long as the stopper can open it. It might flow a little slower, slightly slower, but it's still going to flow down.
you're
Yeah,
talking
she-
about the stems and all, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
she
You just have
turned
to make
that.
sure they don't. And if you have a more of a modern toilet too, the way they're
That is so wild.
it doesn't.
No, it was the wildest thing I've ever seen.
Hmm.
It was wild.
And I grew up with grandmothers that had the cushion seats and the like,
Remember the potpourri?
and they had
Oh,
the potpourri.
gosh.
Don't eat the potpourri.
Yeah, don't eat.
Don't eat it. Yeah.
But
Now
I've
they
never.
they
had
make
that.
those in. They call them sachet packets.
Hmm.
Now So they take
I don't
potpourri
like that word.
sachet.
I don't like that word.
Why? You just
I
don't like
just
the way it feels?
don't like it.
I agree. It's weird.
Should put it on that list.
Okay.
I
I don't even know how to spell sachet.
One of those sachet.
Now I can't
I think
say
it's
it.
SACHE. I think. Is that right? Sachet. Must be French. I think it's SACHE. Yes. No.
Yeah. I don't know.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Neither
They
here
take
nor
the
there.
potpourri and they like blend it up so it's like a powder, and then it's just in a packet.
And then what?
shake
You
it.
just shake it.
You
and
just shake
get
it and you leave it in
potpourri
there.
dust everywhere.
No, it stays in there, and it just smells through the little package. Well, it's like a paper package, and people they'll
My
just
kids
set it
got
on there.
some Mother's Day thing from church that was like some kind of sachet full of something, and then it got all over the dash of our car.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a white powdery substance.
From church?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, it was probably baking powder or baby powder.
I want to know what
something
that
like
was.
It was some flour packet, some thing they were making for the moms on Mother's Day.
Oh, they used the leftover stuff from Easter. I don't know what the white powder was. We didn't have
What
any
was
of
the
that
leftover
going
stuff from Easter?
on. We had done like the herbs.
Okay,
where,
yeah.
That station where they were like doing.
Well, this was like a white powder that came out.
wild.
Yeah.
Huh.
But also knowing you're a kid.
I didn't rub any in my gums to check.
Yeah,
it or
they could
anything,
have stuck anything in there.
Next time.
Next time.
Next time we'll go there.
Don't
Okay.
rub random substances
No.
in your gums.
No. This episode is going to be full of
Again.
disclaimers.
Not medical advice.
Truly. That's so funny. Okay, next one.
Just to finish the sprayer thing though. The sprayer in our kitchen, we have both settings,
Mm-hmm.
but when you hit the spray function, it doesn't stay on. It automatically clicks off.
See, I could work with that.
So it's like one of those like restaurant style ones that comes up, and then you grab it and you're spraying your dishes, and you hit the button so it like sprays real hard, cleans stuff off, and then it goes back to normal.
That
Yeah.
Okay.
perfect.
So
I could have that in my house.
manufacturer defect.
Yeah.
Manufacturer flaw.
It's not a defect. It's
a flaw
you know.
in the design.
No, it's just a
I think
poor
it's just
design.
people not knowing how to work
A
with the
defect
design.
implies that
The
it doesn't
design's
work
not
as
bad.
intended.
Design itself's not bad. I appreciate the shower
People
spray.
are bad.
People who don't know how to use things. Bad.
Okay.
You know who you are.
You know who you are. Okay. Then oh gosh, this one. Oh. All right. This is like it gives me secondhand embarrassment, truly. So when you're scrolling on Ben's face is so funny. He's like already like, what in the world is this? So if you're like on Facebook or something, okay, which I don't think either one of y'all are on Facebook. Are you on Facebook? You don't have it. Ben, are
I
you on
barely know
social
what
media?
Facebook looks like on a phone.
No? Okay. So there's this thing that women specifically do where they'll take selfies of themselves, but the angle is like up.
Okay.
Instead of like a normal straight on or
Okay, yeah, I've been on the internet.
the angle's up
Okay.
and their head's tilted. And
More
I think
flattering.
they like it because it can
Yeah,
make their
yeah.
face awful. It's not cute. Don't do it.
Mm.
Are they doing the duck face
I was
too?
gonna say, would you prefer them do the duck face?
No.
Straight to camera?
No. Listen, if you're a woman and you're doing this, it's not cute. Stop doing it.
Mm.
It's not cute. I will personally meet with you to teach you how to do it. Anything is better. Anything is better than what you're
Selfie
doing.
Lessons.
Literally anything is better than what you're doing.
I think.
So what? Well, go ahead.
Well, no. Okay. So, as a young adult with Instagram and Facebook coming out as I grew older,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know when the shift happened, but I quickly was like, "Oh, there's all of my stuff is just way too self-conceited." And if you go back to 10 years ago on my Instagram or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
Like your
Right.
posts?
yeah, it's just all about
All
me,
about me.
a whole bunch
Really?
of selfies.
Yeah.
Ben was into himself.
Oh,
But everyone was. That's what
Yeah.
you're supposed to do on it.
right. But for some reason, I don't know if I grew out of it or just
Maturity.
maybe.
Huh.
But yeah, but I think if you're taking that many selfies and posting,
You
and
know
it's
who you
not
are.
for a reason, right? It's not for a product or a business
Yeah.
or like what are we doing?
The only time I take a selfie is when I'm like, oh, my profile picture hasn't been changed in months. I should probably change that. I should probably update it because it might look different. That is literally the only time. Or if I'm like being stupid with my friends.
But I could also I could also see the argument that if you are single, you probably have more of a reason to
Put yourself out there.
Yeah, put yourself out there.
Yeah.
Right?
Gives me the ick.
I think a lot of married people do selfies.
Really?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, usually it is the married ones.
Yeah.
Now I'm all about a double selfie at a event.
Oh yeah, that's different.
Because Samsung has the zoom out on the selfie where I can actually like just a regular selfie, but then I push the little two person,
it makes it a little wider.
and it'll widen it up.
Oh,
and so I can
cool.
fit both of us.
Yeah, that's different.
Yeah,
so these
yeah.
are
I'm all for that.
show you the kind of selfies I do. These are the kind of selfies I do.
That's perfectly fine.
That's perfect. So just
That is perfectly
just
fine.
The frank face, like looking at like.
Yeah, it's literally fine.
And then what I do too is I actually put it on the wide angle lens and then turn it around and take it like this.
Yeah,
Yeah. And
because you're trying to get more stuff in there.
There you're at Red Rocks. You're like,
Yeah, you want to get the That's a perfectly good selfie.
That's perfectly good selfie.
Yes.
So you like my because Ben makes he thinks it's funny because I'm never smiling in my selfies. Trying to find that.
No, Ben's like frick. She just everything I've been trying to work on with him is she just.
Well, I'm not. I'm getting better at my selfie game. I've got a style going.
Me and Amos have a running selfie off, if you will, between us.
Huh?
Yeah.
New segment.
Yep. It definitely feels
that
like
one.
Yeah. See, you've got yourself in there. You've got what
Few
you
other
wanted in
people.
there. You got
Yeah.
some other people in there. Yeah. Because that picture, it doesn't feel like it's all about you.
No, it's generally about the background.
Yeah. There's a way to
so
take
here
a
you go.
selfie where if it is
There
just
go.
you.
How about that one?
Yeah, that's good. That's literally yes. Yes. See, these are good selfies. Yes, Ben. This is good. See, that is an upper angle, but you've got more than one person there, so it's fine.
Well, like I think you should exemplify your mode, the mood you're in too. Like this is how I feel right now.
Okay, yeah, I agree.
this is
But as
See?
long as you're not looking up at the camera is your problem.
No, I think it's what the photo's trying to convey.
Mhm.
Yeah. So like if
it's just me.
if it's just so my problem is if it's literally just me in the picture, it's gonna be that's incredible because it's goofy.
Mm-hmm.
If it's just me in the picture and I'm wanting it to look nice because it's gonna be like a profile picture or whatever, it's gonna be me and it's gonna be like right here and it's not gonna be me like I'm just gonna be smiling. It's not gonna be like trying to make a face. I'm not gonna be trying too hard. I think it's the try too hard where you're like up here, you're trying to make a face, even if it's just up here and you're like.
I think you should write a sermon about this. I want to see you preach this on Mosaic stage.
what is it?
I will.
2 Timothy.
Because no, literally, it's. I think it's what the picture's conveying to me that makes it icky. Because it's like you're full of yourself, and I can tell.
Well, and I'm sure from the women's standpoint, also they're trying to shoot different attributes, not just their face.
Yeah, for sure, for sure, absolutely. There we go, Ben. Now you know where I'm getting at. I can't stand that. I can't stand that because men don't really do that. Men take normal selfies, but yeah, I'll scroll Facebook and I'll see it's usually married women
Like I said,
with kids.
Hmm.
And I'm like, why are you trying to, what are you trying to do with this photo?
Well, there was definitely
You know?
not Ben coming up with the random studies and random facts that I just gleaned off of the past year or whatever. But I could have swore I read something, heard something about couples that post more have a more selfies, more photos whenever they go on a trip, or
Mm-hmm.
even just in everyday life,
Mm-hmm.
more than likely are trying to essentially like trying to cover up and mask
Absolutely.
some deep insecurities.
10,000%.
Not,
I can think
not
of,
trying
like-
to attract another maid.
No, I don't. Well, I mean, possibly, potentially,
I think that that's also part of it too.
Mm.
but
I think that that's how. Well, I think the problems that they're trying to cover up half the time are because someone else is involved that shouldn't be involved,
maybe, yeah.
or
I mean,
they're
it's also like posting your life, and then when you see everybody else's edited life, you're like, and you know all the
Oh,
dirty
yeah.
details about your life and how much
Mhm.
it sucks. And everyone else is
You
posting
wanna
their
look
perfect,
like
perfect
everyone
lives.
else,
So
for
yeah,
sure.
you want to portray your edited life
absolutely, yeah.
on the interwebs,
Yep.
Hmm.
Which
which is all fine and good as long as you're not got the camera like this looking down at you, right?
I wouldn't say it's all fun.
I mean, I mean, it's often off-putting when you see men doing selfies like this, where they got the camera way down here and you can see up their nose.
It's so funny to me.
That's what
I'm
that's
like-
like the old man selfie.
I think those are funny to me because it's like you genuinely are just happy to be here. You're genuinely just happy to be exactly where you are. You were excited to be where you were, and you just wanted to take a picture so you could remember.
We're not worried about flash.
You're not worried about what you look like.
no, because at that point, no one else in the world could know you're taking a selfie.
Actually, yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
What's that for the people on the internet who are seeing the selfie?
true.
I always get the biggest.
But you're talking about like the things that people in public where they're like hopping out, taking
Yeah.
a selfie.
Yeah, I'm
in
like,
traffic.
real quick. Come on. Take this before everyone keeps on looking.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't stand when okay. Me and a friend of mine went on this trip to the UK, and she's like, let's take a picture, and I'm like, eh. But like we're obviously on vacation, why would we not take pictures?
Mhm.
Yeah.
But like setting up a picture, something about that I can't.
See, it doesn't as a camera guy, it doesn't bother me if it's a good picture. It's like if I'm taking a good photo, it's like, all right, anything for the shot.
Yeah, I'm good with taking pictures of other people.
Although don't disrespect other people's cultures as well. I saw one where a woman like climbed up one of the pyramids in Mexico, like which you're not allowed on. So she like climbed up to the top and was screwing around up there, and then
Oh,
came
God.
down, and they're like, the crowd started berating her and throwing stuff at her when she got down.
Oh wow,
You know,
that's
don't,
wild.
don't go and disrespect other people's culture. Or that
Don't
one
do that.
YouTuber in South Korea who was like, he did something in front of some statue. I forget what he actually did, but disrespected it.
Mm.
And so he's got like 10 years in jail in South Korea,
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
which then the internet cheered.
Of course, because it's like, yeah.
Well, it's one of those really annoying YouTubers,
Yeah, I can't
like the
remember.
prank YouTubers.
You're not talking about the Paul brothers.
No,
That was
that
years
was
ago.
that was
gosh.
the forest
Ugh.
that he went to, and like, yeah, that was a bit ridiculous. I'm not even sure I have a word for what that was, but
That was trolling for likes.
Oh, 10,000%.
I don't think he got them though. Anytime you have to give an apology afterwards,
You think the apology was real?
People-
It just boosted them even further. No one knew
People
about them
eat
before that.
stuff
I
up.
guess that might be true that he yeah, you want to go do an episode in the forest?
Bad press is good press. No such thing as bad press.
Oh.
Yeah, I can't find it.
Only bad press is no press. Oh, okay. So yeah,
Next on the list.
Next on the
Maelee's going to
list.
teach a course to the youth on how to take proper selfies.
It's not even the youth. I think it's
The youth they're coming up though.
yeah, the youth is coming up.
Although they've been trained on the internet, so
I think the main question is before I even get into wanting to teach is why are we taking photos like this? Then if you can answer with a healthy response, then I'll teach you how to take a photo.
gotcha.
Okay, next one. Oh my gosh. Okay. When we're getting gas, all right, you pull up to the gas pump. You're about to get some gas. And then you insert your card. And it says, see cashier. I didn't want to go inside and see the cashier.
It's the whole reason you were paying at the
That's
pump.
the whole reason I'm paying at the pump.
Yeah.
The entire reason I'm at the pump is so that I don't have to go inside and pay the cashier. The entire reason I'm not using cash is so I don't have to go inside and pay the cashier.
I will
Why
literally
do you have
drive
to
to
see
another
cash?
pump.
I will literally drive. I do. It ticks me off, and I drive. I'm glad we're on
Well,
the
the
same
only
page.
reason that ever happens to me is because I entered the wrong zip code.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
And then I'll just put it back in again and put the right zip code. And it's just the zip code
it
from our
doesn't
old
happen
house.
a lot to me, but when it does, I'm like, ugh. I guess maybe it is because
Like,
I will say I hate the upcoming, one world order, but I sure do love the little tap to pay at the gas station
yes,
because for me,
So
I feel like the card swipers, that's where they get their bread and butter is those gas stations.
Mhm.
And once you eliminate that,
you mean the
and-
scammers, like the
the card
where they're
swiper,
putting skimmers.
yeah,
Mhm.
skimmers.
Yeah.
Yep. But the tap to pay, oh,
So I was told by someone who works for like they do the basically those interactions between banks, cards, and what POSs or not POS, but like the gas station, the whatever. What do you call the where you're paying?
the pump.
No, like all of them where you tap to pay. There's a word for that. It's not the till, the teller, the
Oh,
point of purchase. Point
Okay.
of purchase. That'll work.
Yeah.
Basically, like his company handles most of those point of purchase interactions between the card companies, the bank companies, and he told me that tap to pay is the safest way
Yeah.
yeah.
because you're actually creating a token. It's almost like the blockchain. You're creating a one-time usable token, and you're not giving them any of your card information, personal information. It's just that token. It goes through the system and it's done.
Huh.
Whereas if you actually swipe your card, not even the chip insert. Chip insert's pretty safe too. The swipe gives them all your information. So your name, your card, the date, all that stuff is on the swipe. And that's why the swipe is no longer safe.
Hmm. I always wondered if it was any different, the tap and the swipe, which doesn't make sense. In
Well,
my
there's
head why it
everything's
would
the chip insert now. The swipe is like a last resort. Nobody
Uh-huh.
uses those anymore.
be. Yeah, no one swipes anymore, but
Have you noticed though that Walmart doesn't have tap to pay
Really?
on their pumps.
anywhere? Anywhere, if you go through any
You're
Walmart,
right, they
it's the
don't.
weirdest thing.
I
How do you
wonder
feel
why.
about self-checkout?
Oh, you don't want to know my opinion on that. Go ahead.
I don't know
Bailey.
why we're paying people to work there. Because what are they doing?
At
'Cause
Walmart? Why are we
you
paying
can pay
people
me
to
to
work?
you can pay me because I'm checking my own groceries out.
Well, they're still stocking the shelves.
I know, but like we're paying people to stand there while I'm checking my own bags
Yeah, but it's
out.
one person who's like, when something goes wrong, they come over and swipe their
Yeah,
tag.
what's
and
going
just
wrong? It
fix
shouldn't
it.
go
What-
wrong.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like it didn't go wrong. Nothing went
No,
wrong.
literally all they've ever done for me is fix the problem the machine's having because I leaned over too far and now it thinks I'm stealing something.
Yeah, welcome to the future. This is what it's going
I
to be
will say
like.
Walmart's the best though. Kroger sucks because Kroger, you have to put everything
Oh.
in the basket and it weighs it.
Yeah.
You can't just, or like in the bag, you have to put it in there. Whereas
if
Walmart
you
just lets you
don't-
like move it
Oh
over.
God! If you don't put it in there after you've scanned it at Kroger,
Yeah.
there's a problem.
Mhm.
And it's like, I just scanned it. I'm gonna pay for it. Why do you care where I've put it after I've scanned it?
The problem is there's a lot of dishonest people.
I get it.
I mean, theft has to be through the roof, and it's just worth the cost of doing business. I mean, because it's the amount of theft that goes through is probably lower than it would cost to pay cashiers to be there checking everybody out.
Mm-hmm.
At minimum wage, yeah.
Yeah, so there's a certain amount of attrition that they deal with. Yeah,
You will own nothing and
and then you're on camera. The other thing I've heard too that you're on camera, and what they'll do is they'll let you steal stuff until you get over the whatever the limit is. Like say it's, I know in California it's like $950. It becomes a felony or becomes
We
a
are not giving any
jailable
legal
offense.
advice.
It's not
Oh my
legal.
gosh.
No, not legal.
I didn't know that.
offense. But what I've heard is that Walmart will like say it's $600 in Texas, I think, something like that. Once you get over $600 worth of merchandise over time stolen, if they can link it back to you on camera every time, then they'll go and press charges against you
Oh my God.
rather than doing it at
That's
$100.
wild.
This is what I've heard. Which makes, I mean, really makes, like, you should, like, if you're stealing, you should go to jail. You're one of
Oh,
the people that's
absolutely.
making the process worse. I mean, not that corporations are great or anything, and Walmart's some great bastion of morality. But you shouldn't be stealing though.
For sure.
Like, have you ever accidentally not paid for something and then go back in and pay for it?
I actually didn't ring up it was at Christmas this year. I think it was like I was buying something for my mom or someone. and I accidentally didn't ring it up because I was like buying big stuff in boxes, and I got the hand thing and I did it, and I realized it was like a $50 thing. I realized I didn't pay for, and so I called Walmart and I was like, I didn't pay for this, and literally I didn't have to do anything. They just let me have it.
Yeah, they don't know what to do. Like, well, you're just more
Yeah,
pain in their end.
yeah.
No,
I was like,
what'll happen to me every now and then is you get out of the car, you're like, I didn't pay for that. So it's like, go back in, pay for it. Yeah.
I feel like it would probably raise more questions. Sir, what are you doing? You're going straight to the checkout?
I mean, you walk in from outside.
I just realized I didn't pay for it. I'm trying to do the right thing here.
They didn't know what
I
to
don't think
do.
they're not paid high enough to worry about that.
Yeah, the lady I talked to on the phone that day did not care that I didn't pay for that. I think it was, I can't remember what it was.
Now, what about walking out and them asking you for your receipt?
I never get asked for my
that's
receipt.
like shop owner's privilege.
Shop owner's privilege? What are you talking about?
What does that mean?
What is this law?
I don't know if it's a law, but it's more of a common law thing where like you have the right to determine whether someone's stealing from you or not. So you can check receipts.
I don't know. I paid for it. I even checked it out myself.
That's the problem though, because that went up too when people started checking out themselves.
I never get checked.
And I think it's the honest. I think it's the honest people that are pissed. That's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
It's the
Honest people are pissed.
it's the punishing of the honest.
What I have seen some people do. I have seen some people do at checkout is they'll go up to checkout, they'll check everything out, self checkout, put it in the bags, and then they'll put the bags in their cart, and then they'll cancel the transaction and like, all right, I'm not going to pay for it. And then they'll wheel away back into the store with their items all in bags. And what I think they're doing is they're just going to do another exit.
Wait, you've seen someone do that?
Yeah. I mean, like we were checking out, they were checking out. They canceled the transaction and went back into the store. They didn't go out the front door. They just went back into the store. My assumption is that then they're
circumventing and then they're going to go out the front door.
Oh, for sure.
Or I would say they're going out the garden section or something.
Yeah.
Oh, dang.
Once again, we do not provide any sort of advice on this.
I've never even
podcast.
thought to do that. That's what's crazy.
Generally, when you're honest, you generally don't think about how am I going to steal stuff.
Yeah, I know.
That's wild.
I've only seen that happen once.
And
like, what are you going to do about it? Like, you going to say like, hey, you should follow that person? Like, what are you going to do about it?
No, they canceled their transaction.
Yeah.
Huh. And the camera didn't go.
No, because they went back into the store. They didn't go out the front. They just went back into the store area. Like, oh, I forgot something.
You would think that it would freak out once you took the bags off the weighing table.
Maybe in Kroger. It does in Kroger, but not at Walmart.
It doesn't do that at Walmart?
No. They don't have scales under there at Walmart.
Oh, I didn't know that. I guess I just assumed they did.
Now, if you're backing out with a 72-inch TV.
But you didn't put that in a bag.
No. No.
That's actually what I forgot to scan.
You know, one thing we don't have anymore in today's society, we don't have gleaning.
Have what?
Gleaning.
Gleaning?
So in Bible times, like there's a rule about gleaning where you didn't cut the corners of your field and you left them there for the poor. Like you're actually commanded in the law. And then also if like you have an orchard and someone comes through and picks fruit to eat, they're allowed to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's basically a welfare for the poor kind of thing.
Yeah.
We don't really have that. Not that I think you should be able to glean at Walmart, but
too much of
it. Honestly, I'll even like every now and then my wife would like, she'd get a bag of grapes and the kids would be hungry. Like she'd give them like, oh, just eat some grapes. We'll pay for them when we leave. And I'm like, but you pay for that by the pound. So it's like, you're not paying for the ones they ate.
I will admit
she stopped doing that after that. I'm like,
yeah, if you're paying it for the pound, that's incorrect.
Now, if it's a package of item that's a fixed price, then yeah, I'll open that and give it to the kids.
Yeah. I feel weird doing that. So like, I think I have a friend that'll like go through and she'll get a drink or something and drink it. Like my mom's done that too before where she's gotten her Diet Coke and she's drank it while we're in the shop and then she'll scan the empty Coke. And I just like, that's always bothered me.
You're paying for it.
I know,
you
but
just
freaks me out.
consumed it ahead of time.
I'm too afraid to go to jail.
Over a Coke? See, that's the thing is they got to wait till you have 600 Cokes that you've done that with and you're over that dollar amount.
Maybe
Has
we
it
need-
always been that way?
Maybe we need to
I
have
didn't
a
know that was
police
I
the
don't
case.
know.
officer.
I'm. It's what I've heard. I don't know because a lot of states will have like a limit where it's into felony range or like
Oh, okay.
grand theft or jailable offense. Like I know that's the big thing with California is they made everything under $950 a non-arrestable offense or something,
That's wild.
and then crime went through the roof.
That's crazy.
What does that say?
Becomes a felony offense when the value...
Over 2,500.
Ooh.
But I think there's like, what are those other ones down there?
Class C misdemeanor, value stolen property is less than 100. Class B misdemeanor, over 100, but less than 750. And a Class A, over 750, but less than 2,500.
Hmm.
Either way, don't steal.
Yeah, just don't do it.
Yeah,
Just don't do it.
Don't do it.
we're not lawyers.
Because
Don't
you know
steal.
what I've
not worth
learned? God will provide.
That's
I
so
agree with
true.
that.
Praise the Lord.
That's the other thing is, we have food banks. Like, you're gonna get food in America if you just
yeah.
ask.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and maybe that goes hand in hand with being prideful, and sometimes you just need to break down and ask. Yeah,
But then there are panhandlers too.
there are.
You know, you spend enough time at Walmart. Not that I'm saying you should spend enough time at Walmart, but there you'll start noticing the same people coming up to you and saying like, "Hey, I just need a little bit of gas money to get over here." You give them $20, and then like you see them doing it again. It's like, oh, okay, you have no shame. Get a job. I don't know, but you don't know their history. And like, I generally do err on the side of like, if I give you money, it's now between you and God. And I don't really care.
Yeah.
Like, cause like I would rather give $10 to a guy who's going to go buy alcohol with it than deny someone who legitimately needed it. I remember one time we were, so we used to live in Minnesota and it was getting to be wintertime. And there was this lady sitting on the corner who was just like, had a cardboard sign out. And I think it was something about need a bus ticket or whatever. So we gave her $100.
Mm-hmm.
And like the look on her face, and like she immediately started packing up. And like she was, like I got the genuine feeling that she needed a ticket to get somewhere. That was enough. She was able to move on, and she was genuinely grateful for it. And like I would rather, give money to 10 drunks than deny her that need.
Yeah.
Because then it's
For
between
sure.
them and God at that point.
Yeah.
And there's an argument to be made that you're just perpetuating that person's self-destruction.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say this conversation that me and my mom have had before, just like yapping in our free time or whatever,
Like we're doing now.
But she like can't get over like the idea that she might be enabling someone to do something that they shouldn't be doing, which I understand that. I don't think it's wrong at all. And so she'll just say like, I'll go buy you food or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's her way of like fixing that problem. But for me, I'm like, I ain't got time to go buy you food. I'm just gonna here you go. And hopefully
Growing up in a different country, begging and panhandling was just all over the place.
And I think there's also too something, the more exposure you have to it, the more jaded you become to it.
I've become really jaded,
Yeah.
and I've had, since I had kids, I had to kind of walk it back
yeah.
to where it's like, okay, hey.
I know that like if I'm in a big city, I generally won't like, because that's how those people are making a living. And again, like maybe I'm going against my point earlier that I'd rather give it to someone who needs it than deny, or give it to someone who doesn't need it than deny someone who does. But it still gets hard after a while when there's so many that you see in the cities.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's tough.
Especially in Houston. Houston's bad about it. There's someone on every corner in Houston, I feel like.
How did we get on this?
I have no idea.
What was the last thing that made you angry?
Gas pumps.
Gas pumps, right?
Gas
Gas
pumps.
pumps.
Man, we were
You don't want to go inside.
don't want to go inside. I also don't want to go inside for my receipt. So just
Do you
drive.
need your receipt? You
I-
paid with a card. What do you need a receipt
I always
for?
get a receipt because if there's water in the gas and that messes my car up, I ain't paying for that. Have y'all ever heard this? This is a big
Well,
thing.
yeah, I've heard of it.
This is
Yeah.
the big thing that my parents have instilled
Water
in
in
me.
the gas.
They're worried about, which Okay.
Is that really a problem with like?
But I mean, your
modern? I've
bank
never-
transaction should be.
You still
able
have the
to-
receipt.
Oh, I understand that. This is just like
Now, what I've always heard you don't do, again, not legal advice. No, is don't fill up when the truck is filling the tanks
right.
because
Yeah.
it stirs up the
Stirs everything
sediment.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah, don't do that.
I mean, there's filters, but yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
not mechanical advice.
I don't know why. I have to get a receipt at the gas pump because it's just
So
something.
what
that my
about when the
parents did.
gas pump is out of paper,
I'm too stubborn to
as
go
as,
inside,
as they
though.
are half the time?
Yeah, I just drive away.
Hmm.
And I'm like, okay, it's up to the Lord.
And don't get gas at Walmart.
Yeah, because they're always out of paper.
Mhm.
Dang.
But they're the cheapest.
They're the cheapest. I always get gas at Walmart.
They're Kroger. Kroger's always so packed and hard to get to, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we beat that one to death.
We did. We did. Are we moving on?
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't
Let's
have to
see.
ask for permission.
Okay. Let's see. Okay. All right. So this one's actually kind of funny. Every staff meeting, I feel like that we have at the church, there's like 2 little phrases that we always say. So like, we're not jiving with that, right?
Jive.
Jive.
Or-
So
okay.
it's actually jibe.
Jibe.
What?
Yes.
Like
Look it up. Look it up.
Jibe.
Jibe. So that's like a saying, like, oh, we're not jiving, but everyone says jive, but it's actually jibe. And I don't care what Google says, I'm going to always say jive.
With a
And
V
so-
or with a
with
B?
a V. With a
'Cause
V.
that's not my jive.
That's not my jive.
But Google Oxford Dictionary will say jibe is to be in accord and agree.
What is jive?
The verdict does not jibe with the medical evidence.
Mhm.
Jive, like a jive turkey?
I was thinking more like a 70s nomenclature jive.
The style of
Jive
jazz.
Wild. No.
Jive can refer to a deceptive or foolish talk, slang, or jargon. It can also mean stuff or that sort of thing.
I guess jibe is correct then.
Jibe is correct in
You've
that
seen
saying.
Airplane, right? Everyone's seen Airplane.
Yeah.
Jive Talk.
No.
Oh, you should go watch Airplane.
Okay.
But to your point, jive talk would be correct. Jibe, that isn't jibe with me, is the correct
That's
context.
the correct.
Yeah.
I've never.
But it's always been jive, right? You've always thought it was jive.
you were
Shucking and
incorrect.
jiving.
But that's just like a common thing. Most people think it's jive. And I think it was Terrell that was like, no, it's actually jibe. And I was like, no. And so it was a whole thing. We have this thing called the bunny board where when dumb things like that, funny things like that come up in our staff meetings, we throw it on the board and we return to it later. This thing has been on the board, I think, 3 times. And every time I will always disagree. I do not care what Google says.
So is it a moot point or a mute point?
A mood point or a mute point?
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
A moot? They heard the term like a moot point. Like that's a moot point.
No.
No?
Explain. No.
A moot point?
A moot point. See, I thought you said mood point, but I
Moot.
still
Moot.
no.
M-U-T.
Moot point.
Mute.
M-U-T. Moot.
Mute.
It's moot point.
Mute.
So a moot point is a point like doesn't need to be argued. Like it's obvious. It's a moot point.
Oh yeah, it's that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
mute.
for sure.
It's not mute.
Putting the TV on mute.
No, it's a moot point.
MOOT?
Look. I'm not sure the exact spelling on that one, but it's moot point, not mute point.
This feels like the jibe conversation we had.
That's why I brought it up because it's one that it's a moot point.
Yep.
Huh.
Moot. Like a cow.
How's it spelled?
MOOT.
M-O-O-T. Moot. There you go.
Okay. Yeah. So so Terrell will use the word jibe, like I'm not jibing with that, and I'm like,
I think it works both ways because you can jive
Hard
with something
B.
and jibe with it.
he
as
does it
well.
with a hard B on purpose, but I'm like, no, it's wrong. I don't care.
Mm.
So yeah, that's one.
Well,
that
that's a
made it off the
twofer.
list.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's 2 right there. Okay, the next one. Let's see. Okay, when you're watching YouTube, when you're watching YouTube.
I never do that.
Never,
Mm-hmm.
never watch YouTube.
That's about all we watch.
That's about all we watch.
That's our main content consumption.
I am with you on that. And there's ads. I can't stand the ads on YouTube.
Can't stand ads?
Cannot stand the ads on YouTube. But I will not pay for those ads to go away.
Let me ask you this. Follow-up question.
I'm ready.
I'm assuming you probably use Apple Music.
Absolutely.
Do you pay for that service?
Yep, I
Yeah.
do.
So, if you pay for YouTube Premium, you get YouTube Music free with it.
Yeah.
YouTube Music?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Now, as Android users on this side of the table, I will say that for past years, I was paying for such software such as like Spotify
I hate Spotify.
or Pandora, whatever the case may be.
Okay.
Right?
Mhm.
Never iTunes Music. However, the prices have steadily increased over time, and it's become just not.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they want to get in the black and actually make a profit rather than give it away like they have been in order to establish market superiority.
Right.
Hmm.
So, little life hack. I did not even realize YouTube Music was as prevalent until I started utilizing it. And so I dropped every other subscription I had.
Got all the same stuff, right?
Pretty much. Pretty close. And now, guess what? Never seen an ad. And I've got my music. So,
Okay.
I pay for none of it. I don't pay for anything. Like,
How much do you pay for YouTube Premium?
it's a lot.
Is it like $90?
No.
How
That's
much is it?
YouTube TV.
Oh!
Yeah. The
Okay.
premium's not that much.
Wait, how
isn't
much?
it like $7 a month, $8 a month?
No, more than that.
Is it? That's where it started.
Like 20?
20, 25.
Okay, that's not
Yeah.
bad.
But once again, it's our primary. We're not watching Netflix. We're not watching Disney.
You're watching everything
We've
on YouTube.
we've unsubscribed from everything else.
Mm.
I have alternate ways of watching what we want to watch. But when we primarily watch content, it is YouTube. So why not get rid of the ads?
Mm.
And as a bonus, I'm getting ad-free music as well. There's also a lot of other content, a lot of other features that come with YouTube. This is
Like being able
I
to
feel like I'm on it. I'm
being able
listening
to
like
turn your screen off and the YouTube video will continue playing.
Oh.
That's a premium feature.
So
like I said, I pay for nothing and I used to deal with ads. Like I just kind of like whatever, they're ads. And then Ben was watching me one time, show him a video, and he's like, "Give me your phone."
I can't do
When
it.
it played an ad.
I will say, pretty sure the church has a premium account. You're
Does it?
welcome.
Who would I contact about this?
I'll let you
Why
know.
would the church have a premium account?
There's a couple.
Hold on.
Don't whisper.
I'm logged into the youth. They're not the youth. The church's YouTube account.
There you go.
Yeah, but that's not a premium account.
Okay, there's another one that is out there.
Excuse me.
I don't know. I've actually never looked because I'm
I've-
logged into it too. Because
I've
I
set it
upload.
You set
I
it
upload
up.
the sermons.
Yeah.
Hold on a minute.
Listen. I'm just saying that I made a educated decision, and I felt that was the best bang for your buck was YouTube Premium across the board with regards to the features and the aspects of the music, and I've been pretty happy with it.
Can you make playlists on YouTube Music?
Yes,
It's like an app, I
100%.
guess, that you use that would be like Spotify, Apple Music,
I
whatever.
think it would have all the same features.
Yep.
I mean, does the church pay for the Spotify account that we use for playing?
Yeah, I know the church pays for Spotify,
maybe.
but I hate Spotify. Spotify users, I don't get it.
What's wrong with Spotify?
Apple Music is just better
Why?
than Spotify. Because, first off, I feel like the quality of the music on Apple Music
Because
is better.
is not an argument that works in
I
court.
genuinely feel like it sounds better from Apple Music.
So it's higher fidelity.
I really do feel that way. And I think Apple Music is just easier to use.
What if your fidelity is limited by the quality of your speaker though?
Right.
So,
you're
like-
not going to be able to tell 4K from 1080p if you have a crappy computer.
I don't think those
Right.
terms work
TV.
in music, but
No,
you listen to your music in 1080p?
No,
Or
no. I'm
4K?
saying I'm relating it to a visual aspect
Mm.
versus
Yeah, I don't know what the
Yeah.
terms would be for music, but I feel like it sounds better to me.
hertz. Hertz, don't it?
Kilohertz would be one, but like everything's in 441 or 480 kilohertz. 48,000 kilohertz.
While I was watching my YouTube Premium, I did watch a whole breakdown, and he broke down Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube. So there is a video out there that you can go find,
Mm.
and it'll break down exactly what I'm talking about.
I need to find this video.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Could get you past those ads. Although YouTube will probably start playing ads in premium subscriptions soon, just like everybody else is doing.
Ugh.
yeah, and at that point, I'll have to make a decision.
Again,
Mm.
once more.
Yeah.
Pay for the premium
Mm.
subscription that has no ads.
The premium 2.0.
Like and subscribe, because we sure like to get up there and start making money.
For real.
But I'll be watching shows, different shows and podcasts and stuff, and none of those guys have premium, which kind of blows me away. It's like,
On YouTube. Like
Yeah.
YouTubers don't have YouTube Premium.
yeah.
Hmm.
I don't think you get any benefit from this. Like, there's not
I wouldn't see why you
not
would.
studio features that you gain.
No, but I think that YouTube probably should be given their
You should get a check
creators a
mark,
discount.
like on Twitter. Get a check mark.
A
you're
YouTube check
verified.
mark?
YouTube verified if you pay for premium.
Yeah.
You would
maybe.
think that
You can pay us for that idea, YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
you would think that YouTubers like would want to pay for YouTube Premium because they would care about their watching experience more
Right. I mean, that's the platform that they're
they're on
They're
and
on.
using.
yeah.
Mm.
But unfortunately, that's not the case.
Interesting.
What's next?
Oh gosh.
How deep do we want to go into?
I know
deep.
how far do we
How
want to
deep?
go into
Do you have
this?
any like more less first world problem
Mhm.
ones in there? You know, like that are more like existential or theological,
Honestly,
philosophical.
No, this was very like funny, goofy. Like this
Mm.
shouldn't make me mad, but it does.
Mm.
That was the route I went with this. Now, if we return to this, I can go a little deeper into
Oh,
that.
we'll be returning.
Because there's
Regular segment. I didn't put that
there's
stinger
plenty.
together for nothing.
phrase.
We gotta
Okay,
use it
good.
again.
Because I can go into a little bit more.
Mm.
There is most of these are just ridiculously funny ones, but I mean, I feel like we've made it through about. Let's see.
5.
Yeah, and there's probably a good like.
Well, give us another banger.
Okay, let's see. Let's find a good one.
Guess we should make our own list. What does that mean?
Yeah, y'all gotta make a list too.
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
Yeah, I don't know what that means. I know you're signaling me for something, but I don't know what it meant.
Oh, yeah, one more.
One more.
One more.
Oh, okay. This one. When people think that their
When
music,
people think. You don't like it when people think.
no. When people, unless they're like, if they're thinking dumb, I'm just kidding. When people think that they're musically inclined, like I can play the guitar, or I can play the piano, or I can. Oh God, people who sing and they can't. What are we doing? Who's lied to you? Who's lied to you? Who has lied to you?
Like, so they're just not talented.
They're not
or
talented,
practiced.
or they haven't practiced, but they're like trying to own it as something. Like I'm fine with someone who's learning. I'm okay if like okay, I'm learning how to play the piano.
But they're not performing.
Not good. I'm not performing yet, or I am because I'm learning or something. Like that's different. But if you're like singing and you're trying to sing on stage somewhere or in front of people and you're not good.
Now, once again, this is not geared towards anybody specifically. Do not read into this.
What are we doing? Yeah, don't read into it.
Okay, but playing devil's advocate, how do you lovingly tell somebody that?
I feel like if you love someone enough, then you have to just be like, okay, like, hey,
Like, dude, here's some auto-tune software.
there are other things that we can do here. You could be an incredible basketball player. You could be really good at softball, or we could try.
But they love singing, Maelee.
we can sing at home,
In the shower
in the shower,
where no one can hear you.
where no one can hear you. Or, you know what? Let's sing around the family. I feel like that's different. That's a safe place. But
I don't know about that.
It actually, yeah.
Hmm.
But there's a time and place.
Don't catch me singing with my headphones on.
And I'm not one
flat.
to judge because I'm not musically inclined. I would not say I am. I like music, but I've never been someone that's going to be like, I want to learn how to. I do. There have been things I've wanted to learn how to do, but I just have never done it.
So is this what makes Maelee mad specific to music? Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
in the realm of just anything pertaining to music, if you're doing it and you're not good at it, stop it now.
Yeah.
Because Maelee doesn't like it.
I
Like-
genuinely
like-
don't feel this way about like sports. Like if you suck at basketball and you still want to play, like I don't feel that way because you're just going to sit the bench. Like that's cool. You want to be a part of something. That's fine. It's specifically music, but I think it's because when I'm listening to music, I'm like, your kids actually make fun of me for this.
You're in it.
I'm listening.
I mean,
and
I've
I'm
seen you up front during worship service.
I like hear the little pieces of the music and I'm like, oh, the piano, or like, oh, this is
so
sounds
it's
so
like
good.
the food.
Yes, I like kind of pick it
You-
apart
you
a
can-
little.
You can feel all the parts.
I feel all the parts. And I used to do this with my cousin Seth. So he's like he's super talented. He can sing all the things. And so growing up, literally our only point of communication would be us sending each other songs. And that's the only time we ever talked to each other. So I would he would hear something and he'd send it to me and be like, fast forward to this part and like just listen to it and like hear all the pieces. Or I would send him things like that. So I don't know if it's just because I have like a love for it in that way. I'm not trying to do music ever.
So do you perform at all? No, never.
No. I've been told I can sing. I won't sing in front of anyone, and I've led worship once, but it was only because our past youth pastor like guilt tripped me into. He was like, he caught wind that I could sing, had never heard me or anything, like because I'm not trying to do that ever, and he was like, you could really be such an inspiration to these kids. And like, that's just the place that you would have to go with me because I love them so much. And I led worship once and will not do it again.
Because
Terrifying.
Mm.
And
it's easier to get up and preach.
For sure. Yeah. I can speak words all day long. I'm not.
But you don't have like a barrier when you're preaching. Like when you're singing, like you have this like very regimented script to go by, which are the lyrics. And it's like a layer of protection.
For sure.
You just have to do it well.
For sure. Yeah, no. And maybe it's because I don't have enough experience with it, but.
I'm just trying to think of somebody that unwittingly doesn't know how to sing or play an instrument.
This
well.
is not.
And you're irritated?
This is not specific to
No,
anyone.
I know.
Mm.
Yeah, we know who you are.
churches. I mean, I actually, okay. There's a couple people that I'm like, what are we doing? But
how you're that person Sunday morning, you're belching your heart out. Do we just go up to them and love them and say, darling,
baby girl, baby son.
I don't know.
No, I feel like worship's different. If you're like in the crowd and you're doing your own thing.
Yeah, you're not complaining. I didn't take it that you were complaining about those
Okay,
people at all.
Please do that.
It's people on
Right.
the stage that she's
If you are
that make her
wanting to
angry.
get on stage.
wanting to actively like, I want to be on stage, whether it's worship or
You're dragging around a karaoke machine everywhere you go.
you're, so like if we're at
That's
youth,
your identity.
yeah, it's like a thing. And you're like, so like
Yeah, I'm a singer.
at youth, there's always that one or two kids where they're like, I can sing and I write songs, or I like want to, I don't know, I want to lead worship or whatever. And it's like, baby, I've heard you, and you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say that because I'm not a singer. I'm not.
But you
that's
have
not
to
come
be,
from me.
like
But
charity. I've always heard charity is being willing to do the best thing for someone, even if it hurts them and you.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So
Title of the episode.
Wow.
titles aren't supposed to come from me.
No, I'm saying title of the episode. That might apply to panhandlers as well.
It very much, yeah, of course. Because a lot of times when you gift giving, it's just about making yourself feel better. It's not about making the world best for them, the person you're giving the gift to, or whatever. And same thing with like when it comes to saying nice things or not. I mean, because Mama always said, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all.
Yeah.
But then, righteous indignation is the thing. Yeah. Maybe we should change the name of the list to what gives Maelee righteous indignation.
Maybe that's better.
When you have to go inside to pay at the pump, or when you have to go inside and can't pay at the pump, that gives Maelee righteous indignation.
That's it.
Mama says alligators are ornery because they got all them teeth and no toothbrush.
That movie's incredible.
What is that?
Waterboy?
Oh, it's Waterboy.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever
Oh,
actually
that's
watched
it.
that.
Whoa.
I largely avoided the 90s Adam Sandler movies.
I love
All right,
Adam
homework for the weekend.
Man.
Maelee's gonna go watch Cats. Amos is gonna go watch Waterboy.
I'll go watch the scene from what's the one? The one where he's like, what you said there, like all of us have been made stupider by hearing that. Madison? It's Happy Gilmore and there's Billy Madison. Or what's the
Billy Madison is
Billy Madison? That's the one.
okay.
Where he's like at the end, that's the climax of the movie, because I've seen just that scene where the guy's like, what you said was unequivocally like the dumbest thing I have ever heard, and we are all stupider for having
That's
heard
funny.
it. Yeah. That's how I feel generally about Adam Sandler movies. Although Happy Gilmore is a good movie. They're making a Happy Gilmore too. Have you seen the trailer
It's
for that?
gonna be out soon.
Wait,
Yeah.
what?
Oh yeah.
On Netflix.
Same people?
I mean, yeah, Adam Sandler is in it.
Okay, well that's good.
You're not going to get Apollo Creed, but
Right.
because he's dead.
Right. I didn't know
R.I.P.
that was happening. That's incredible.
No, but they are bringing a character back that's supposed to be his son, and he's missing a hand as well. I
Is
think. Yeah.
Bob Barker won't be in it either.
No, Bob won't.
Wait, when is this coming out?
Soon.
This is so funny. I didn't know this.
Yeah, when it's like a Netflix release, it's like a month away when they start doing commercials,
Dang,
trailers.
this is incredible.
I think end of July.
Hopefully it's good. I mean, the first one was good. I will admit that. The first one was.
Oh, for sure. Let's hope.
Yeah, it's probably one movie this year that I am excited for.
30
'Cause
movies you're excited for? Are you a movie person?
I am a movie person. I actually really like Wicked. I liked Wicked.
I watched
And I'm kinda
up to the
excited
last
about the
40
second
minutes on the plane, and then we had to get off the plane. So I haven't seen the last 40 minutes.
I actually thought it was,
It was
really
right
good.
up to like the monkey transformation where they got wings.
Yeah.
So like I heard, so what was it?
I fell asleep.
Taylor Welch
Darn.
was like saying The Wicked was like one of the most biblical movies that he's seen. Like, yeah, he was talking about that when it was him and his engineer. They're like, it's like I don't remember his exact words, but it seemed like he was saying it was like a transformative, highly biblical movie with like great themes. And
Interesting.
I don't think he was being facetious. I wasn't getting it. I'm like, this all seems it seems very typical, traditional, like very well shot, very good animation, very good performances. But it wasn't resonating with me in that way.
Yeah, I'm not getting that either.
Well, so what resonated with you in it? Like,
I don't really know if there's anything of that way that resonated. I just thought it was so creatively shot. I love when things are like, when there's movies and it's like, we really were intentional about the framing of this scene and the creativity behind it. So the Elvis movie with Austin Butler, have y'all seen that? Okay. Incredible. Because it's super like creative and there's like a theme and there was a way that they were trying to shoot that.
well, that's the director is he did Gatsby and he does all the musicals. He did Cats too, I think, right? Who's the director?
Of Elvis?
Yeah. I believe he's the same director who did he does all the musicals.
Baz Luhrmann?
Yeah.
Yeah, Baz Luhrmann. So click on him. I'm pretty sure he did Cats. Yeah.
Full circle.
And
Oh well. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, Gatsby. And
It was just
Les Miserables, or not. Maybe he did. Did he do Les Miserables? And Moulin Rouge. So he definitely has a theme in his work.
incredible work. But yeah, I don't know if the story of like there was people on TikTok that were talking about like the story of Wicked and how it was affecting them and resonated with them, and then all this stuff. There was like I didn't relate to it in that way. I wouldn't say it like touched my soul. It was just from a creative eye. I was like, this is
Yeah.
This list is supposed to be what makes Maelee angry, though, not what Maelee loves.
right.
What movies make you angry?
What movies make me angry?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Not specifically, but kind of movies. Like
Just a movie that makes me angry?
no, not like a specific movie, but like you say you like love a movie that has like good composition, shot composition, where like every frame's intentional. Like what movies?
Schindler's List.
You didn't like the shot composition in Schindler's List?
Oh, I was saying I liked it. I'm sorry. I was on the other side of the fence.
Oh.
I loved Schindler's List.
I've never seen Schindler's List.
I've never seen it either.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't.
Am I over here on an island?
Maybe. I've seen a lot of Spielberg's movies, but I haven't seen that one.
Go home and watch it. It's a good
I
one.
should.
I'm trying to
Although,
think
I
which
don't
ones.
know, Liam Neeson's. Wait, no. Yeah, Liam Neeson. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
love Liam
there's a new Naked Gun coming out, too. Liam Neeson is Frank Drebin's son. Maybe he's like, I don't know what y'all are talking about.
I don't know that.
Go home and
either.
watch The Naked Gun.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a lot. We might have to write these down. There's
Yeah.
a lot of movies I need to watch.
Mm.
I'm trying to think of movies that make me angry. The Paranormal Activity movies were the first ones that I was like, I hate this because it's shot through like their
Yeah, it's all
video
it's found
cameras
footage.
or
It's all
whatever.
found footage.
Yeah, I hate that.
You hate found
I
footage
hate movies like that. Yeah, I don't like movies
So
like
what
that.
about Cloverfield?
Never seen that.
No.
Never seen that.
There's some good found footage movies out. Generally, like
There might be.
the thing about them is they're cheap. So it started with the Blair Witch Project.
Mm-hmm.
They're the ones who did it first. That blew up. I think Blair Witch Project might be the most profitable movie of all time. At least it was for a little while because they shot it for like $60,000 and it made like $250 million.
Okay.
Whoa.
And then Paranormal Activity was shot for like under 400, I think, and it made a good 100, 150. I don't know. It made it. It's out there. Avatar's not. No, when I say profitable, I mean like cost to profit ratio.
Don't talk to me, man. I just typed it in.
Avatar obviously cost like
Type it in differently.
what, 300 billion to make? Sorry, 300 million to make. It made 2-something billion.
That's
What makes something profitable? If not making money.
Okay, I didn't mean most profitable. It was like the most profit to cost ratio.
like the range there.
So they like how many X to your money? That's how I mean most profitable. Highest grossing is different than most profitable. Paranormal Activity is. So what did it cost?
15,000.
They shot it for
That's
15,000.
it?
Okay, I was way off. on that one.
Dadgum.
How much-
15,000.
How much did it make?
Made over 215,000.
Huh.
Grossed-
Million. 215 million.
Grossed 194 million.
There you go.
Dang.
That's not a bad investment of 15 grand.
Not at all.
But like, you look how easy, like the reason it was cheap because of the way they shot it. Like they
Yeah.
just put security cameras up with night vision
Mhm.
and then they just did all their scenes. And I think they had a camcorder that they were hauling around too. But you don't have to light it well. You just have to light it adequately to make it look like a natural house with poor lighting.
Mhm.
The night vision, you don't have to light at all because it's night vision.
Personal question. How much did you say you spent on your movie?
I don't know offhand. I don't want to say offhand.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll save it for the Patreon.
Yeah.
Amos has a movie out there in the just waiting.
It's in the
just,
can.
just waiting
Can't
to
wait.
We need
be
to finish some things.
finished.
I can't wait.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
But,
Right here it says that Rocky also achieved high profit margins. The movie Rocky, 1976.
yeah, but that was shot for what? Like, I think $1 million in equivalent to today or something.
I don't know.
Yeah, and no one wanted to let him make that movie either because he wrote it. Stallone wrote it, and then was going to perform in it, and like they were trying to take it away from him. A lot of people weren't letting him, and then he's just like he became a phenomenon after that. But so you don't like found footage movies?
I think I don't like them because it's like it feels like there was no effort.
But like some of them have a ton of effort in
Some
them.
of them do, I'm sure. I've just never. I think I'm just basing it off Paranormal Activity.
And
that
like,
was my first.
You know how
experience,
hard
and I was
that is
like,
to
no.
do for $15,000?
Yeah.
You know how much work that is to put a feature length movie together for that little money? Like those people, I guarantee you, put a bunch of work into it.
Yeah, I can't imagine. That's wild to me.
It's not showing on the screen to you because they did it the way but that's the only way they could execute it for that little money.
That's a stylistic choice as well.
So maybe it is.
But I think it's a stylistic choice out of necessity because that's where everything, like all those kind of movies came out after that. Like that's where Blumhouse. Did Blumhouse do Paranormal Activity? Or did he just come in after? Because they're the company that does all like the cheap horror, theatrical horror.
I feel like Blumhouse was after Paranormal Activity.
Napoleon Dynamite did really well too. They made that for like 400,000.
That movie's hilarious.
And it made like 54 million, something like that.
Incredible.
Yeah. Cult classic. You have to watch it twice to get it though.
Yes.
I did not. The first watch
I haven't watched that in a long time. I want to watch it again.
Tried watching it with the kids the other day and they're like, we don't understand this. We don't like this. I'm like, come on, vote for Pedro.
That's sad.
But then again, you watch it the second time, they may laugh right in.
Yeah. I found the same thing.
I want to watch it tonight. Again.
It's on YouTube Premium. Although you can watch it with ads if you don't have Premium.
I can't. The weird part is I literally grew up watching TV.
Well, that was my next question is like, you have to watch 3 to 4 minutes of commercials on terrestrial TV, linear TV. And then there's no on-demand viewing either. Like you get to watch what's on the channel now. In some ways, I think that was a simpler, better time.
Oh, for sure. Now I'm just like used to Netflix and whatever, where I don't have to have. I can go watch exactly what I want and don't have to have ads.
Exactly.
So going back to it, it's like no.
Anyhow, any closers on that list? Any final items you'd like to get to?
I think that's a good place to stop for now.
Final grievances.
I think that's enough grievances. I feel like I was humbled a little in a few of those.
Not sure we solved any of them.
No. Maybe. We tried.
Just got to woo-saw. Next time you go to the sink and you get blasted because somebody left it on the sprayer function, you just got to woo-saw.
I literally have to pray. It's the only way we're going to make it through. Because otherwise, I'm just going to be like, ah!
What's all that clattering in the kitchen?
Oh, it's just Maelee throwing an absolute fit.
Tantrum.
No reason.
You're channeling the youth students. Throw a tantrum.
Yep.
Do you ever have any throw a tantrum on you?
No. Actually, no. There's been 2 moments where we had a little.
Are they too afraid?
Too afraid?
To throw a tantrum around Maelee?
Maybe. But I haven't like put the fear of Maelee in them. I feel like maybe I have. Some of them, yes.
Thing? Is there a fear of Maelee?
I don't know. I don't think so. I feel like I'm pretty chill. When there's a problem, I'm like, hey, bro, like, why are we doing that? I'm not like, why the heck are you doing this? No, I feel like there was 2 times maybe we had a little problem that it wasn't like a tantrum or anything. And it wasn't like towards me. It was just, I was there.
Breaking something up.
Yeah.
Like you may not have started the fight, but you'll end the fight.
I will end a fight very quickly. I will do that. I will not start it, but I will throw the last punch. And have before.
So what movies are we watching? I'm supposed to be watching Waterboy. I'm supposed to be watching Waterboy and Schindler's List. She's supposed to be watching Airplane
Cats.
Naked Gun, and Cats.
I gotta write this down. Airplane,
I would say she has a better list, but Cats really offsets
Cats, and what was the third one?
Naked Gun.
And if you feel squirrely, Naked Gun and a Half.
And a third.
And a third.
Get in all
Okay.
three before the new one comes out.
What kind of movie is that?
It's a spoof.
Slapstick
No, it's a spoof.
spoof.
It's like epic movie, although epic movie's terrible.
Yeah.
Scary movie.
Okay.
Scary movie.
hmm
It's that genre, but it's
Okay.
10 times better. Both like Airplane is like one of the originals. Well, okay, so if you go back, you have Mel Brooks did Young Frankenstein. That was 69, I think, or 72.
Mm-hmm.
And then Blazing Saddles was 74. Airplane was 75. And that was done by Zucker and Abramson, something like that. Airplane's one of the best movies ever made. It is so funny.
Okay. I'm ready.
And then Naked Gun's really good too. It's one of Leslie Nielsen's best performances.
Okay.
And Holy Grail's good too. Do you want to watch some Monty Python?
Oh,
Maybe some Life of Brian and see what you think of that theologically,
okay.
right? Add Life of Brian to your list. Yeah.
Life of Brian.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Ben's telling me I need to shut it down. You've
Wrap
gone too
it
far.
up.
All right. Well, thanks for coming.
Absolutely.
It's been fun.
Yes.
Has it been fun, Ben?
It's been great.
You're biased though.
Yeah, I am biased.
You should be.
All right. How what you want? All right. In the club.
Amos, I just want you to tell me if I'm not singing good.
You're not singing good.
Singing good.
You don't sing so good.
If I don't sing so good, you better tell me.
So Maelee doesn't get mad at you.
Right.
I've never heard you sing.
I'm sure you have. You're just not recalling it at this exact moment, and we don't want to get copies.
I mean,
we don't get
outside,
copyright
obviously,
strike.
outside of music, no, or like church service, like if you are singing in church, you would have been mixed in with everybody else, and I wouldn't have noticed.
Oh, you'd notice.
Paul, when you're in the booth, Paul, he'll start singing.
Paul, we love you.
Mm-hmm.
He's got
I'm not
some,
complaining.
Paul's got some pipes.
He does.
Paul's got some pipes. No, that's a tricky subject to try and like wade through. I get it though. It's the most annoying thing when it's like, how do you tell somebody? Listen,
I have no problems.
Telling somebody.
No. I have no problems with them singing poorly because I'm
Okay.
I'm the guy who's like, like
At least you're trying.
I'm back here running cameras, like not singing, and it's none of my concern. Like, okay, yeah. My wife will complain about certain aspects and details and be like, they could do this better, and they could do this better, and they could do this better, and this. And I'm like, you know,
let them be.
go volunteer then.
Let them be. Yeah, ain't that the truth? If you see something going on in your church, more than likely, I have found in the past that is more than likely the Holy Spirit kind of telling you to get more involved.
You also have to realize
yourself.
that most of this is volunteer work too.
Yeah.
And it's people like doing their best. Nobody's a professional.
Right.
I don't, that sounds terrible. I don't mean that the wrong way, but it's like, it's funny, the joke about the church AV guy. Like the church AV guy generally doesn't, he's like, I don't want to.
Yeah. He was asked the day before to come in and help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not, because I am a church AV guy. So like,
Me too.
But like they generally are underqualified. There's a bit of Dunning-Kruger going on there. Let's put it that way.
Yep. Now it's fun having Maelee back, and what a good hang. right? That's what we want out of the show, out of this podcast, is just a good hang, talking about life, seeing what picking each other's brains and seeing how we tick.
We do tick.
Yeah. Can't believe you've never seen Schindler's List.
That's just
Wow.
I do actually. Someday I would like to go through like the top IMDb top 250, and it's on there. I know that, so I have to.
You could probably mark off quite a few off that.
I could mark a. Oh yeah, of course I
Yeah.
could mark. I mean, certainly the top 10.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've seen The Godfather.
Me
I've seen
too.
Shawshank Redemption. Shawshank
Yeah.
Redemption has been on top for a long time. According to IMDb, that's the greatest movie of all time.
Listen, if we were going through the hotel and it's just flipping through the channels and it's on, I don't that and Forrest Gump. Wherever it's at, I'll finish watching it. I don't know what it is. One of those movies.
Where can we be found?
Hey everybody, we can be found on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Really, anywhere you get your podcasts, you can find us. Please give us a like, subscribe, comment. Get in the comments. Get up in there. You know what to do. We sure do appreciate all the support. We really do. But we were just checking right before we recorded this. We got one more subscriber on YouTube. Every 259 of you, we sure do appreciate it. We do. So keep on supporting us. We'll hopefully keep on putting out good quality content that you want to enjoy and be a part of.
Cool.
Bye. All right. No, you like to see ya.
See ya. We're not breaking our norms right now.